Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
WCS back on the boulevards. Big salute to the WCS supporters, man. You already know what it is. Everyone that's in the building. It's Saturday. It's fight night. You know what I'm saying? UFC 281's going down. You already know. Mr. Pass first on deck. Salute to you, brother. What's good? Hey, man. Hey, you look at the thumbnail, man. The last man standing, Terence Bud Crawford. It's a realization. It's a reality. You feel me? When it comes down to it. And in the scheme of everything that we've witnessed on here, he is absolutely the most popular fighter, and he is the last man standing. Look, the last man can standing mean a lot of things, but right now, I see more people upset to the fact that he's actually sold tickets to a fight with a what they call a fledgling streaming service, BLK Prime. You know, they want to downgrade as much as possible, unless it was blue now. They wanted to downgrade as much as possible, but it seems like the tickets was actually sold at Ticketmaster, and it also, from what I'm hearing, pay-per-view, you're able to purchase that. The only thing that's pretty much left out there is, a press conference with both of them. We need to see at least one press conference with both of y'all guys. I don't know where it's going to be, but it'd be good this month to see a press conference between Terence Crawford and his next opponent, David Avanesian. And so we can give his supporters, first and foremost, the Crawford supporters, that respect. You know what I'm saying? So we can see the champ before he goes in there and get that 39th victory. And also oblige his freaking groupies. We got to pay homage and oblige the groupies. We got to satisfy their thirst. I'm all about giving back. Seriously, I'm all about giving back. And I definitely want to supply his goddamn donate to his groupies. Now, if you look at the thumbnail, man, that's the pound for pound best right there, last man standing. And I just took it upon myself to do what nobody else is choosing to do, and identifying, some legitimate bona fide haters when it comes to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Nothing personal, just, to give you the airtime that you look for. And that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Most recently, outside of the zone boxing, Terence Crawford went on Max Boxing. Max on Boxing. And had a very, very great interview with Max on Boxing, man. Because look, no matter what he says, certain people are going to take it and misconstrue it and basically twiddle their thumb to come up with a narrative they can push on what he should have did or what he didn't say. And if he did say something, it's a lie. So they're going to continue to just sit up here and try to spin their own web with it, right? But the good thing about it is he's the one stepping in the ring this year. Whether they like it or not, he's the one stepping in the ring, man. And it's about to go down real soon. So let's get to Max on Boxing. Very, very good interview. Very informative. This is a pound for pound best, Omaha's legend, Terence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Talking to Max. And I like how Crawford has been attending these platforms, these mainstream platforms, and talking to the people. He's actually coming out here talking. Not only when he comes out here and talk to people like Max in the Zone Boxing and so forth, he allows his fans to be able to hear what he has to say, what's on his mind, and also allows the groupies to be able to continue to get super chats off his thumbnails, off his name on the thumbnails, instead of them talking about Spence. You know what I'm saying? It allows them to take their mind off, a possible TikTok video that they want to fabricate when their idol and leader is not out here in public trying to speak on his name. You know what I'm saying? So let's listen to Max, man. Very, very good interview.
Fans of all kinds of all sports, welcome back to Max on Boxing. I'm Max Kellerman, and I'm joined today by the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world on my list, Terence Bud Crawford. Bud, it was, first of all, welcome to the show. Great to have you. It was looking like you and Errol Spence were on the verge of making the biggest and best matchup in boxing a reality, this year. And then it all fell apart. What happened?
Well, things was drug out, tremendously. We tried our hardest to get that fight made, and, we got close to it, but, we wanted a little transparency on the writing off on the budget, and, when money come in, we just want this open book, basically.
What you're referring to, I believe you could correct me if I'm wrong, is you agreed to fight Spence without a guaranteed purse, just for money on the back end, not of the gross, of the net, of the profits on the fight. And so you wanted oversight over the books. What are they spending on the promotion, et cetera, and you want access to them and some ability to agree to what the expenses are, et cetera. And Al Haymon, Spence's advisor, but the guy who seems to be running the show over there wasn't going to have it, and so eventually you say we can't go forward. Is that an accurate description of what happened?
For sure. That's exactly what happened. It was a whole bunch of, well, why you need this? Well, why you need that? And, can I ask you, what's the reason behind this and what's the reason behind that? And it basically was a, ongoing thing until, I just was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go elsewhere. And then that's when we start hearing back from.
So, Terence,
a lot of the Terence Crawford groupies, the aerosexuals, right? They took what he just said and attempted to basically go against what the trainer of Avanesian Camp had put out there, that in no way, shape, or form was he double dipping on negotiations. At this point in time, right, these individuals have to understand, I shouldn't have to be the one to break this shit down to you like we sitting in class. You feel me? I shouldn't have to be the one, but let me explain something and remind you of a sport that you chose to cover. That goes to everybody on this thumbnail. Listen to me. You're covering a sport that's not regulated. It's a lot of shady shit goes on here, including y'all putting out fake news. But y'all don't really fall beneath the umbrella or the brolly of boxing. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. In this particular scenario here, I'm trying to help y'all understand that you wanted him to leave a promotion. He left the promotion, and he wanted transparency. You can come up with what you think he ducked and what he did. Avanesian training been on record and saying it wasn't no freaking bilateral negotiations going on here. When you hear Crawford talk about the situation, you can tell he's being sincere. His sincerity is not gauged off the perception for which some haters will come on here and speak on. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell his frustration and his disappointment for not being able to make the fight happen, because all he wanted was just like anyone else would want. He wanted transparency and he wanted clean business. That's it. Clean business in a dirty sport. That's all. Y'all have to understand that when you putting out fake news, this sport is not regulated. So of course you're gonna go out here and try to talk and spin and put out lies and fake news all you want. People are hooked on to that now. You know, we're gonna get to that later. People turned on, they understand, you know, the names is out here, there's Crawford bashing. Let's get back to the vid.
Many others think Crawford Spence is not only one of the best matchups you could ever make, but is vital for the legacies of both of you guys. How do you feel about that? Do you believe the fight will ever happen? You know, and if a Spence fight doesn't happen, is that something that...
Stop overpaying for big shirts. Finally, a clothing brand made for us.
really damages your legacy in any way? Or is would there be anyone else at 147 pounds that would pique your interest the same way?
Well, I think it's a great fight for both our legacy and for boxing as a whole. But at the same time, you know, I think, you know, a lot of people is reaching when they say it's going to damage my legacy. You know, I'm a three-way world champion. I'm a former undisputed world champion. You know, I've accomplished a lot in boxing, you know, so I really don't think it'll damage my legacy. You know, it just go down as one of the biggest fights that never happened. When you look back at, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Aaron Pryor, they never fought each other, and, you know, both of them is still considered two of the greatest fighters that
Terence,
fought.
Terence, yes, that fight never happened. It would have been a really interesting fight. But Bud, when the dust settled, Sugar Ray was over here, Tommy Hearns was over there, and they got it on, right? Like, that happened. That's why he is Sugar Ray Leonard. It was a tough fight to win. It looked like he was going to lose. How do you beat Tommy Hearns? By the way, Errol Spence, long, rangy, southpaw, high work rate, good chin, can play defense when he wants to, a jab. How does Bud overcome that? Even if I think you should be favored in that fight and others, it has that same juice because the dust has settled, and there's Bud, and there's Errol Spence. You really mean to tell me right now that's not important to you to get that man in the ring?
No. By no means, you know, am I not saying that it's not important to get that fight. You know, like I've been saying for years, that's the fight that I want. That's the fight that I've been trying to secure. That's the fight that the fans want to see. You know, but at some point, you know, only can do so much. I've been doing all that I can to try to get that fight, and I'm still the one to be blamed for not making the fight happen, you know. So I'm gonna continue to try to, you know, get that fight done and, you know, sealed so everybody can see who's the best fighter in the world is. You know, that's all I can do.
All I can tell you, Bud, is from a fight fan's point of view, when I think of like the best things that I could see in this world, some of like the most sublime stuff, right? The stuff that makes life worth living as a fight fan. I think of Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, man. I need to see that, and I do appreciate that you seem to be the one trying to make it happen. I have a question for you about one other fighter at welterweight, and he has not proven it yet. But I used to ask you this when I was covering you at HBO, when I was working your fights, and I would talk to you about when you eyeball the other guys out there, game recognized game, real recognized real. Who do you see? And I was really saying it's going to be Errol Spence, and here he is, right? The other guy I see out there that looks very interesting is Boots Ennis. If you can't get Errol Spence in the ring, when you look at Boots, do you see something special there?
Yeah, of course. He's a very talented kid. He's young, he's strong, he's big, he's fast, he's switched. You know, I've been watching him ever since the amateurs, just like I've been watching Errol Spence. You know, so I see a lot of, you know, determination, skills, dedication in the kid, you know, and he's on his way up, you know. He's going to be a force to reckon with.
So, Bud, you're now in your mid-30s. You were at lightweight, junior welter. Now you're at welter. How much longer are you going to be doing this? You still look to be at or near the height of your powers, right? How much longer are you going to be doing this?
I don't know. Right now, I'm still in love with the sport. I'm still, fairly, young at my soul. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so my body's not, going through crazy, wear and tear. Been that I haven't been in any wars that, wore me down or anything. So, I always said I want to retire at 33, but here I am at 35 and still moving along. So, who knows?
So, but one of the things, one of the reasons I got to see you and Spence, not only, it's almost never happened in the history of boxing. Two guys in or around their primes, in or around their best weight class, boxer, puncher, speed, power, skills, defense, switch up. Talk about like you guys can do every single thing, and it looks like a 50-50 type fight. The boxing fans are dying to see this. Tell me that it's going to happen. Like, are you really going to let your career go by without making this fight happen?
Why everybody keep telling me I got to make the fight happen? Like, what do y'all want me to do? Like, y'all just want me to, I guess I got to go over there and just say, hey, listen, I fight for no guarantee, no back end, no nothing. Let's just fight because this is what the fans want you to do. Like, I'm trying my hardest to make this fight happen.
I believe
and I just
you are.
want everybody to know, I'm trying. I'm trying. So
Bud doesn't smoke.
And that's a big part of this, right? That's a big part of this whole entire scenario when it comes to negotiation. Because they'll sit up here and have one live stream and talk all about the business. But yet when it comes to these fighters, right, they forget how some fighters aren't able to have a lot of free play in negotiations. They pretty much restricted. And I truly believe in this situation that Terence Crawford, you've heard him try to answer more questions about this negotiation than Spence. Because Spence is incapable of being a part of a negotiation like this because he just don't, he's just not the boxer that's in a position with the way Al Haymon is his manager. He does have somebody to speak up. He does have a mouthpiece for him. But even if he didn't, I don't think he'd be as much assertive as we would think in trying to make a fight like this happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think people understand how difficult it is for Terence Crawford to try to go ahead and negotiate the way he's doing, knowing that he's on the back end, he's on the low end of the stick, so to speak, and they're trying to feed him minimal freaking benefits to one of the biggest fights in boxing. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to provide this man any transparency. It's not like he's asking something from businessmen that haven't really been in that position for a while. They just started. They're like interns. No, we're talking about very credible, reputable individuals that's been in this driver's seat for quite some time. They just choose to say no to a lot of shit because they want to make it very, very difficult for Terence Crawford. So you're going to have on the YTC the toe-tapping bystanders. You know what I'm saying? They're just waiting for information to come out with freaking Terence Crawford. And look, I sit back and smile because that just lets me know that they're quite bored with being on Team Spence. They're quite bored. But yet, they just don't have the willpower to abort and just go on their own on what they truly feel from their heart. These cats are up here just waiting for shit to go off. You know what I'm saying? They're twiddling their thumbs a little bit. They're trying to come up with new lies. They willing to say, well, like I heard Monnie Brown the other day, right? Money was over there talking about all Crawford had to do was just sign the contract. And I'll get to that a little bit later. That's not all what he had to do. All right? People just don't go up here and sign paperwork, Money. They just don't do it. They just don't go sign paperwork like that. You know what I'm saying? And then if they just don't sign paperwork like that, then guess what? If you say you spoke to somebody on Team Crawford, they should give you the green light to freaking present you with some type of documentation. We are grown-ass adults. How can we sit up here and explain something without details. If you're not giving me the details and you hopscotching over there, I'm going to go back to the point where you first tried to hop over something. I'm going to say, right here, there's a space. There's an empty space that needs information. If you want to talk about dates, let's talk about dates. Don't just say, well, he agreed to everything and the date was there. What date? What date was there? If you're talking about a date was there, then say the date. Don't act like you know the fine line for line details, brother, and then turn around and don't give dates. If you saying all Crawford had to do was sign the contract, then guess what? What brought it to the next year? On the same sentence, you say if he can fight in December, he can fight in January, February. But yet, I'm going back to the first space. You know what I'm saying? That dead space that needs details. It needs some information. It needs some it needs something inserted in there. Whatever you can put in there to fill that void. What was he signing? What was he signing? If the continuing conversation is always going to be everything was there, what he wanted to sign, and y'all just want to skip over things and then say they return, and he sat on the contract. It was plain and clear that they said the final revision was sent back to Crawford and they heard nothing. That's clear. So when you get up here and act like selective amnesia is overwhelmed you, you know what I'm saying, consumed you and shit, it has become infectious, then don't expect people like myself to agree with what you're talking about, because they said themselves when they sent them back, this was in the media. This was in media. This was in articles. They say it's concerned about Terence Crawford still being committed to the fight because he haven't responded. Y'all making it seem like the man sat on the contract forever and a day, and then he was in the process of trying to negotiate with Avanesian, and he wasted his time, and then he sent it back. No, they sent him back a contract. I mean, not a contract, a freaking proposal or term sheet. You know what I'm saying? They sent him back the documentation, whatever it was. We don't know. It's nothing out here that we can basically look at as resources. But we're going to sit up here and talk about what they put out in the news when all this damn tweeting started to happen. And they said, oh, we don't know if Terence Crawford still committed to fighting Errol Spence because we haven't heard anything back from him. And then, come to find out, they want to move it to 2023. And you, Money, you basically confirm that. Because you say if he can fight in December, he can fight in January, February. So don't make it seem like he agreed to everything and then he bailed out on them and blindsided them, all because they was trying to basically fight next year, period. They wasn't trying to fight this year. They wasn't trying to fight this year, bro. The audio leaked out that he was at Disneyland with his kids. Who go to Disneyland when they in fight camp? Let's get back to it.
Bud doesn't smoke or drink or do any of these things. What he does is beat the hell out of fighters for a living. And
y'all should take note of that. The Spencerholics, what Max just said, they said Bud don't smoke or drink. Come on, take note of that. That's very, very important as to why you all choose to have this fear that you don't know if Spence is able to go in there in light of everything that happened, and y'all want to try to brush under the rug. You don't know. You don't know if he's physically able to. He's not. You don't know if he's healthy enough to go in here for this trilogy. You're just hoping and wishing because y'all a bunch of dang opportunists, greedy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hoping something serious happen. Paratrooper come in from the roof and land on freaking Crawford's neck and injure him. And then they got to go to the scorecards. You want to hope and pray that Errol Spence is ahead. But we all know what it is with him. He's not taking care of his body. He's not taking care of his body outside the ropes. You know what I'm saying? That's what all the legends was going for Crawford because they know he don't drink or smoke. But for your guy, your guy, he does just that. Y'all totally understand it. So no matter how you ignore it, we love it. We love y'all ignoring it. Because if you went silent on the video that came out, that proves that the truth hurts like a motherfucker, slaps you like a bitch, and then you have to wait till this damn fight happen next year if it happens and he don't move up or whatever, and you have to go in the darkness again when he's getting off the canvas. You know, that's what I said. It's going to change the landscape of YTC. You all just proved to me that I was right. Y'all proved to me that I was right. Y'all refused to talk about your boy when the video came out. Imagine when he gets knocked the fuck out. Y'all going to be quiet as hell. Who you going to talk about then? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
This is you and Spence is something I just need to see. But thank you for coming on this afternoon, and that we can see this thing. You know, I know it's not going to happen in 2022. I hope before the end of 2023, and I appreciate your persistence trying to make it happen.
For sure. I think Spence wanted to. You know, I just think it's just the politics behind boxing, you know, that's holding it up. But at the end of the day, Terence Crawford been trying to get the fight made for years now.
Yeah, fighters don't duck. Promoters, managers.
Happy to be here.
So
y'all heard it. He said he believes Spence wanted too. So when the man keeps telling you all, right? The man keeps showing his professionalism. He keeps speaking for Errol Spence Jr. in light of you all keeping silent. You know what I'm saying? He's basically speaking up to his supporters, and also he's pretty much babysitting y'all because he know how y'all truly are over there. You know what I'm saying? You're on pins and needles trying to see if this fight's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's on pins and needles. And then when this shit finally plays out, you're gonna know you're gonna see a deflux or a reduction in your super chat and all the freaking traffic over there. Because there's gonna be a lot of people that listen to you all talk about Spence, and when his ass get knocked out and he's sunbathing under the lights, y'all have proven that you will abort mission and leave this man behind. You all are some scandalous, freaking non-dependable type of fans. Real talk. Y'all are pitiful, bro. Y'all have no freaking loyalty at all. None of y'all built this dude up when you saw that video, him in a predicament. Y'all didn't big him up. The same shit I was telling you all about when he had that accident. Where was the Spencerholics? Nowhere to be found. Y'all proved it again when this video came out. Where were y'all? Oh, we all get together and we ain't gonna talk about it. Check this out. If all y'all aerosexual channels, these pro-Spence channels are refusing to talk about this video, right? That means all of you all have talked about it. You feel me? Shit just doesn't link up like that unless it's mouth-to-mouth transmissions. You know what I'm saying? Mapping of information, cataloging. You all are out here communicating with one another and agreeing that you're not going to talk on it. Oh, give it up for the Girl Scout. Give it up. Give it up for the Girl Scout. Wow. Love you, love you, love you. What unity and cohesiveness that is. You know what I'm saying? Looking at this tweet, a lot of y'all YouTubers that just be making the podcast, that just be making their podcast be killing boxing because y'all don't know what the y'all be talking about. Once again, Terence Crawford tweets, a lot of y'all YouTubers that just be making their podcast be killing boxing because y'all don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about. Let me get to the chat right quick. And then we're going to get cooking on something else. Big Blunson, boxing on deck. Easy work, boxing. What's good? Haynes, Legacy, what's good? Sir Senior on deck. What's good? Eno on deck. What's good with you, brother? What's good? What's good? What's good? So, looking at this tweet right here, once again, Terence Crawford has been very vocal, right? And he's pretty much put it out there that he was calling out, you know, what a lot of us has been saying on my side, and I myself has mentioned it, that a lot of these guys are just clout chasing. I remember a point in time they was trying their best to try to say that if you confronted them or rebutted something they were saying, they was just over there clout chasing. Now, I had no problem with debunking that or refuting it. You have to know how to speak to grade school boxing fans. That's all. It's not that difficult. It's just you have to repeat it more than one time. And what they're doing right now with Crawford's name is just that. They're clout chasing. They're clout chasing. Whenever they hear their name called, you know, especially if I said, they get all butthurt and they want to sit up here and do subliminal shit. What is the subliminal stuff about? You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem, if you feel that, you know, content wise, you disagree with something I say, all you have to do is just put it out there. But peep this out. These dudes are coming at Crawford and they're up here saying that, oh, he's talking about me. I had to laugh at that shit, right? Listen, he's talking about y'all, not to y'all. He's talking about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because there is an issue. There's an issue that's been going on YouTube for quite some time with the Crawford bashing. You know what I'm saying? The torture-lit parades when y'all march around here in your pumps and flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about the individuals that blatantly come up with these stories and they're lying. You can't come up here and create a freaking whole storyline about the negotiations that favor your favorite fighter, so to speak, and act like Bud didn't do anything. Bud is the one that came over there without a promoter. He's the one that had double duties. I would suggest to you all, you listen carefully. If you're going to say Errol Spence did all the heavy lifting with getting the belts, well, understand that Terence Crawford has multitasking when he's going to go into a negotiation without a promoter. Sometimes or another, in a conversation like this on YouTube, you got to be fucking fair, yo. You have to be fair. You have to look at yourself and say, okay, I got to be fair about this situation. But yet and still, I mean, what do I know? Because it's not going to work out like that. It just falls on deaf ears trying to talk to these cats who's all about creating fake information. Now, what YTC is going to continue to prove to people is that you have a bunch of liars on here. You know what I'm saying? You have a bunch of liars who tell their kid not to lie to them. But what they do is they get on here and lie about different topics and discussions because they feel it's no one they have to answer to. And also they feel this is separate from what they're trying to raise internal to their household. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. Listen to these cats. You know what I'm saying? I learned absolutely nothing from them. Nothing. Crawford was talking about them. They take it as if he was talking to them specifically. Now, you can say whatever you want and thinking that you can continue to talk reckless, but what we do know is that you all will not be in Omaha December 10th. All of you cats is up here talking the rah-rah shit. You're not going to go into Crawford's backyard, regardless of what organization you're affiliated with, and you're not going to go check out the fight. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it, bro. Seriously. I just asked this question, like, don't y'all ever really pay attention? Let me drop something else on you. Don't you ever pay attention to the point where, it's really, when it comes to Monnie Brown, Money gonna talk his shit how he talk it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But don't it ever touch y'all in a different way when you hear the same people saying the same thing and you don't think that the whole entire narrative that all these voices are pushing is biased narratives? You don't think, right? When you hear people say they talk to somebody from Team Crawford that's giving them information, that you're going to turn around and use it against Team Crawford. You think that's how the team is over there operating? I mean, do you think the team is operating in that manner? They're going to give individuals who are advocating for Errol Spence heavy. And so you're going to have these individuals, these entities out here, these media segues that says they talk to so-and-so. Look, in 1 second, they'll talk shit about Bo Max Wade. And in the next sentence, they'll sit up here and say they talked to him and he gave them some information. They never say they talked to Crawford because that's unbelievable. But they always talking about they talked to Bo Max. I talked to Bomac. Nigga, stop capping. Stop capping, bro. If you know so much, I'm talking about all y'all. If y'all know so much about the details of the contract, why don't y'all ever put dates on there? If y'all saying that Crawford ducked and left the negotiation, and you say he agreed to everything, what did he agree to? Disclose that to us. What did he agree? Money said the other night that he agreed to 3 things. No, that's not the way I will put the information out. If I am specifying 3 things, I'm telling you what those 3 things are. If you can't tell me what the 3 are, specifically, if you can't title it, then it's fake news. Because why would you get in trouble about a situation that has expired and then Terence Crawford's going over here to BLK? It's nothing that you can get in trouble for. So why don't y'all disclose the information? No, no one wants to sit here and talk about who you don't talk to, what information you know. I can't tell it to you and all that. If this negotiation for this year in 2022 has expired, exhausted itself, right? Then you yourself, you can provide details, lucid details for the listeners. If you're going to say Crawford agreed to the 3 things, what was the 3 things? What was the 3 things? And if you keep talking about he agreed to everything, then why would PBC be the last one to send a freaking contract back to him and he never, I'm just using their words, a contract back to him and he never sent it back? If they would send a term sheet and everything, and he said that his attorney was pretty much putting it out there that they don't really want to fight. They're doing things as if they don't really want to fight. But y'all keep on talking about he ducked. Nobody believed that ducking stuff. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. Nobody believes the ducking shit, bro. And who cares? Let's be honest with ourselves. WCS is trying to explain to y'all niggas. Who cares? Y'all can sit up here and say quack, quack, goose all you want. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Because he's fighting this year for another win on his resume. It doesn't matter how you say David Avanesian's unqualified. If he's unqualified, let's go through all the big names' resumes and find out who was unqualified to be mentioned. Because there's plenty of them, including Canelo. Plenty. There's plenty of fighters out here that have names on there that you don't even know. You feel me? So y'all saying he ducked, man. What is that supposed to do? What y'all gonna penalize him? Have y'all sent the paperwork yet? Have y'all sent the paperwork and let him know that he's been suspended? I mean, what y'all gonna do? Real talk. I mean, what are we talking about here? What are y'all gonna do, man? I'm just curious. What are y'all gonna do? You keep running with the duck narrative, but Arrow is not fighting. It's nothing going on with this dude. Y'all refuse to talk about the one highlight that he has floating around social media. That shit was buzzing like a beehive, right? And y'all act like y'all was scared to touch it. That's what y'all want, right? Y'all want his name to be buzzing, but when that video came out, that shit was buzzing like a beehive. And y'all say, I ain't touching that right there. Fuck that. What else we could talk about? Y'all dumbass go over here and start talking about Kyrie Irving that's going through his own situation of controversy. So you leave one topic of controversy and you go over to Kyrie topic of controversy. What are we talking about exactly? Like, how does that make sense? You leave, you have no connection to Kyrie, obviously, but you seemingly believe that you have a connection with Errol Spence. So a video come out with Errol Spence and y'all are up here clamoring for a freaking resolution to put this to bed. You can't put it to bed. It's out there. It makes him look so bad that it only further underlines what the legends was talking about and what these other voices that box was talking about. We going for Terence Crawford. We going for Terence Crawford because in boxing, people talk, and people know this has been going on since Nate, who's over there as the mid man for Floyd. He put it out there a long time ago. He put it out there. Nate put it out there, and people got mad. People got mad at him, talking about, oh, he was hating and this, that, and the other. What is hating and ducking? Bro, y'all have abused that word, stomped it out, and it means absolutely nothing. It's just like gum on your shoe, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just pick it up, peel the shit off, and toss it. That's all it is. It's the gum. It's the gum on the shoe effect, bro. It might stick for a little bit, but once you find out it's there, you know, it kind of feels a little bit uncomfortable, which this topic is for you all. All you do is just pick that motherfucker up, peel it off. Some of you dirty ass nigga put it back in your mouth, but you peel the shit off and throw it, throw it away. I don't gather where all this is going. You say he's talking to you in a tweet, but he's talking about you. He's talking about a collective group of individuals who just continue to hate and keep his name relevant. But yet, when their fighter, who they're trying to say is better than Terence Crawford, comes out and there's a chick that weighs more than him exposing him, right? Not just once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever times. If she has that video and she feels so comfortable, I mean so carefree, to put him in a predicament like that of embarrassment, you think she doesn't have any other videos that may be just a 2 to 3, 4 steps deeper? I think so. I think it's more out there. I think it's more. I think it's more videos out there that dives just a little bit more deeper on the dark side with that female. And I think it may be used, mark my word, if they have a split, that shit's going to be used for extortion. And if he's not willing to provide that type of compensation she's looking for, the videos will be leaked. And there may be some compromising stuff for Arrow, for real. Y'all know that. If you know everything else, y'all know what's going on behind the scenes. Don't play dumb. Y'all know what's going on behind the scenes, man. Y'all want to be so close to Errol Spence, right? But you abandoned the man during the time he needed you most. Y'all niggas start talking about Kyrie Irving in a whole nother sport. I laughed my ass off. I say, goddamn, who came up with that strategy? Who came up with that strategy? 78? I mean, who came up? Who gave y'all the green light and said, that's what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about Kyrie Irving. We're going to switch it up all together. Man, stop. If you want to talk about tactics, talk to me, man. I would have told y'all something to talk about instead of y'all just switching up into a non-combative sport. Y'all switched up from a one-on-one sport to a team sport. When in fact, that's quite funny, being that y'all claim yourselves as a team. You claim that you're a team that's supporting Errol Spence, but none of y'all move in a way that you know what the fuck is going on. All y'all do is repeat the same thing the next channel repeated. That's not team effort. That's a sheep mentality, bro. Come on, man. A guy on my channel said he could be a star if he promoted himself more. That's what promoters are for. He's a fighter, not a damn rapper. These individuals that can promote themselves, even the ones that has a little bit more star power than the average boxer, it's certain levels that they can go to until they reach a ceiling, and then their forward progress is impeded. It's no way they can continue to have progress. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're just totally smart, and as a kid they saw their parents or somebody in the business and they learned as they was a teenager coming up in the sport and learned the business with their parents. If that's the type of boxer we're talking about, okay, they might be able to then raise their profile a little bit, but that's not across the board. What's up, Sir Senior? How you feeling, bro? Ricardo, he said, "Come on, man. Crawford has to stop. The jig is up. Just stop lying or whatever. If you feel that he's lying, well, what is the punishment for your belief that he's lying? Be more specific. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to babysit grown adults, bro. If you feel that he's lying on something, be more specific and and put it in there. Seriously, it's respect. Be more specific so I know how to respond to it. You just saying he's lying, he's capping. I heard that all before. I heard that. It's done. You know what I'm saying? Say, trust me, WCS, they feel stupid. They just in denial. Real talk, Easy. What's good with your easy work boxing? Salute to you, brother. Bud smear campaign is in full effect. His brothers, Bud had a backup plan if they didn't make the fight this year, but Al did. If we look at how Keith moved through the rankings. I haven't even came up with the point of how Keith Thurman was freaking shuffled through the rankings. Anybody who followed the channel, remember I did that live on Boots Ennis because they was talking about him so much, and they wanted to talk about where he was ranked, and pretty much I gave a whole entire live on how he moved from when he made it into the top 15 at 15, how he shuffled and marched through the rankings, and how he went in that fight with Thomas Delorme in October, and a guy who's coming off 2 losses, and then they move him up 2 slots. You know what I'm saying? Off of the Thomas Delorme fight. It's wild. But now all of a sudden they touch Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman's name been floating around here for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And then the audio leaked. He said he don't want to fight Keith Thurman. But all of a sudden Keith Thurman's name is being shuffled and moved and sliding through the rankings up to that position to fight Errol Spence. Why? Of course, we already know the promotion of Brawley is what? PBC, right? So we already know where they're trying to go with this fight. They want someone that may give us the Danny Garcia effect. Danny Garcia fought Errol Spence Jr., and we all know that he didn't come in there and put out. Period. I don't have to give you a percentage. You saw it for yourself. My question is, do they believe that Keith Thurman is a worthy opponent that's going to go in there and fight Errol Spence, or Keith Thurman is willing to go in there with the orders? Just like Ugas had. Ugas had the orders. They didn't want him. Ugas doesn't have the star power of Errol Spence. So he had the orders to go in there and get what he got. The fight was stopped because Tom the eye was swollen. Lawrence Cole kept on pinpointing the eye. We seen it play out. Once his eye, just like everybody else now, we're talking about Jojo Diaz, eye hanging down. We talking about Eric Morales, shit look like a softball. We talking about plenty of people who had swollen eyes. But yet, Yordenis Ugas' eye swell up. Oh, let me go to the doctor. Let me go to the doctor. Just go back to the undercard of Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders. Go back to the co-main event, and it will pretty much substantiate what I'm talking about on them inserting certain referees in the ring to stop a fight because they have other plans. You know what I'm saying? Go to the co-main event. Just stop the fight out of nowhere so we can see the main event. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's sitting up here believing that Keith Thurman is going to go ahead and beat Errol Spence? He may, but is Keith Thurman more popular than Errol Spence? In a way, people love Keith Thurman, but I don't think his popularity, Errol Spence's popularity extensively gaps Keith Thurman. Like a lot of people like his, how he talks as a boxer, how he can self-promote himself and all that. But anyway, how many of these fights we thought that was going to happen in 2022? This happened in 23. So we have to ask ourselves, do you continue to talk about who's ducking and who's lying and the jig is up? What jig is up? When you talk about jig is up, say to yourself, am I really paying attention to my language? When you say the jig is up, you act like Crawford had no other avenue of approach. He did. He did. Very, very smart. He had plan B. He had options. Except this plan B is not to get rid of something. It's to obtain something. He went over there and pretty much linked up a deal. When he exhausted all his measures, he linked up a deal with BOK. Awesome. While you still have these groupies out here doing lives and complaining about something they can't change. Old ass groupies too. I'm talking about old ass groupies, seasoned groupies. They've been doing this shit for freaking years. It's just like, the groupies used to be a part of these groups, these music groups and everything. And then the singer would be on stage and they'll say something, I love you. I love you. And these groupies up here talking about, they talking about me. They talking about me. That's exactly what we seeing right here. We're witnessing the same shit. Crawford said, y'all YouTubers that just be making their podcast be killing boxing. Exactly. But they trying to act like he's talking directly to them. And if he is, then what? Then what? So what if he's talking to you exactly? If you want to put yourself in a fantasy world, right? And you want to goddamn basically abuse your imagination, right? For malign purposes, right? You want to be a part of something that you're really not a part of, but you want to indirectly place yourself in there. Almost like the virtual reality. You know what I'm saying? You want to become a character, insert yourself into a situation. I got it. But tell me, what are you gaining from this? Like all you dudes up here that think that Crawford is talking about you all. I mean, what are you going to get from it? How many points? Are these points going to what exactly? Welfare? I mean, tampons? I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? What points are these going for? How do you benefit just off the super chats and the views? It has to be more than that because y'all, the labor isn't adding up to the infatuation. You know what I'm saying? It's not adding up, bro. It's not adding up. If you are one of these Spencerholics and you love him so much, why are you putting so much labor into Terence Crawford, who is stepping into the ring December 10th? That's just my question, bro. What's going on, Mark Nash? Salute to you. Shout out to my guy, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, a.k.a. Showtime Shaw. What's good with it, bro? Salute to YouTube boxing channels. Y'all got the hottest and the most talked about in the game. He on Max Kellerman doing the thing you said he'll never use to do, dummies. Yeah, man. Look who he's talking to there, Shaw. I mean, this is conversations we have, right? We have conversations about the moves Crawford make. Crawford is making moves that you will always consider mature decision making. Like he's talking to the big dogs. He's not on here talking to blue blood. When y'all bums was running around here talking about you was a part of making Crawford Avanesian, I laugh, man. Those was tear jerkers that still hurt to this day, bro. Y'all was sitting up here pretending that y'all was a part of something. Crawford is talking to the big dogs. He's talking to ESPN. He's talking to the Zone Boxing. He's talking to the big dogs. And y'all up here, like little yard puppies, little feral junkyard dogs. Y'all running around here saying, oh, he's talking to me. Come get it. Listen. These cats are like they don't want to say names or whatever. But BF, bro, listen up, man. I already told you that fake property that you consider the graveyard, you can't be a body in that motherfucker and act like you own the property. It's just not. You can't have a headstone in a graveyard that you claiming. Bro, stop it. Stop it. You and everybody else that's thinking that Crawford's talking about them and you feel like, Oh, well, he's gonna come to you. Do something about it. So what Crawford's supposed to do? He's supposed to come on. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's have a sensible conversation there, BF. Right? So Crawford's supposed to come over there, and you're supposed to bring him on the panel, right? And just because he's not talking, you're supposed to put him in the background and ask him all these questions, bro. Take your medication, bro. Take your medication. That situation is not going to happen today. 5 years from now, 10 years, it's not happening. It sounds good, but I'm asking myself, as old as you are, nigga, why aren't you more mature about figuring this shit out? I'm telling you, it would serve no purpose for him to come over there. If he wants to go to a circus, he would get his family together and go to a circus that's at an arena that they can purchase tickets to and all that. They're not coming over there to that circus. Why would he oblige you with his presence and all y'all do is talk mad shit about him all the time? Y'all disrespect the man. It doesn't matter how many thumbnails. Y'all can't stop BLK Prime. You can't stop freaking New Generation. You can't stop Bash Boxing. You can't stop December 10th. You can't stop Omaha. You can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. You can't stop it. It don't matter how many freaking biased lies for none do. Can't stop it. You can't stop it. ETB, it don't matter, Keon. You can't stop it. Money, you can't stop it. Trail boxing, you can't stop it. 78, you can't stop it, bro. Drew, you can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. You can't stop the progress, bro. Y'all need to understand that. You can't stop it. You can pretend like something's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You can pretend like it. You can pretend that he's hearing what's going on. Of course his people are telling him and he's seeing certain things. But that is something you can't stop. A lot of people talk about how different of an attitude Blue has since Crawford, pulled up on him and goddamn temperature checked him, right? I mean, some of y'all yelling and screaming. When you see Crawford, you ain't going to keep the same energy, bro. You have to understand this is an elite fighter, right? Not just in the ring, but when it comes to freaking wrestling and overall freaking pedigree when it comes to a man. Like, he's a skilled combat specialist in the art of combat, right? Y'all not going to do anything except crack a smile and say, oh, man, that's Crawford right there. You're not going to jump through the crowd and say, F you, nigga, help you out, fuck you up. It's not happening. What y'all going to say to So Cold? You going to roll up on Steve Nelson and start talking that shit? Man, Steve would dust you off like a freaking mop, like a broomstick, dog. You dudes ain't messing with that. Y'all think y'all just going to roll up on Bernie just because he do a live and you don't like him and you're going to talk reckless and you're going to go over there and then throw punches? Look, what's the end game for this? I'll get back to you. I just want to know the end game. What mission are y'all trying to accomplish with this? So I can kind of give you some troubleshooting particulars, you know what I'm saying, for free. Chaos in Full G, my guy, be dropping some 5 videos. Check him out. Yeah, check Captain Chaos out, man. Check him out. See, one thing I don't entertain people that really they know English is their first language, but their mentality is that of a child, so they want to go back to do what children do, right? Back when you was growing up as a child, you used to be a visual. Some children was visual learners, so that's why you give them toys with vibrant, bright colors on them and shit like that. And that's what they pick out. Oh, I like that right there. And that's what Hamilton's doing. You can still, he's in his child state of mind. You know what I'm saying? He wants to use emojis. Congratulations to you, man. Bud is popping more than they boy, and they mad. Keep doing this videos about him. Y'all raising his profile. Talk to him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Haynes Legacy, bro. $5 super chat in the building, dog. Appreciate your support, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to support to the channel, you know, you can support to the channel by this, you know, my Cash App too. The real ones, you know what I'm saying? They do what they do. You know what I'm saying? But that's all the ones who want to support it if you feel free to do so. Shot News say, break them down like algebra problems. They all fighters. Bernie, Steven, Nelson, warriors. For real. For real. If y'all all about that energy, right? Guess what? Handle that. Stop playing. Handle that. So let's get to the real. Let's get to how people be saying the same thing over and over again. Let's get down to it. All right.
And that's why it took so long. That's why it dragged on this long, because Crawford had to prove that he's not associated with this Daniel Kinningham guy, right? Have you been really following this thing, or are you just saying whatever?
Bro, keep talking your talk, fam.
All right. So that's what was going on.
So this is Bud beats Easy Route Spence last night on Monnie Brown panel. I just want you all to listen to certain snippets of this, because only when it's beneficial to them, they'll try to use that Al Haymon didn't want to do business with Bud Crawford because they felt that he wanted to be clear of Daniel Kinningham. So that's not a duck on Bud, but they refuse to talk about it. You will hear them speak on, oh, he was connected. Okay, so who is putting up the resistance? Al Haymon. He wanted to be clear that he wasn't associated. So how can you say that Bud was responsible for something, even in that situation right there, even that situation? How can you place the culpability on Team Crawford if PBC was delaying a process themselves to pretty much try to find out if he's free and clear and he didn't have any type of connection to Danny Can? How's that culpability placed on Bud? He's there for negotiation, and they're there. No, we got to see what's going on with this. It makes no sense at all. It never will.
Why the fight was being dragged on, because that's what Crawford means when he said they was dragging it on for a long time. They was stalling. How the hell Earl gonna come on Twitter and tweet and say he's been stalling when your team been stalling, asking about Daniel Kinningham, a guy that don't have nothing to do with Terence Crawford's career? Anyway, moving forward, right? Al Haymon, he made some demands that Terence Crawford didn't agree with, and Terence Crawford got fed up with it, and his lawyer told him, these guys, what they're doing is trying to get you to not take this fight. And Terence Crawford was like, you know what? I really want this fight. He called Al. He said, look, listen, Al, me and my lawyer, we want to come meet you right now to make this fight happen, to steal this thing. You understand what I'm saying? What did Al tell Bud? What did he tell Bud when Bud told him he wanted to come meet him? Did he tell that man, say, I can't meet you? My mom is sick. Did he tell him that or not?
Well, I can understand, right? And shout out to Bud beats Easy Route Spence, right? And go check his channel out, subscribe to his channel, right? So call it whatever you may. He was pretty much put information out there that a lot of these channels has basically placed on their reciprocated conveyor belts and redistributed that shit in their own little narrative. And they try to make it seem like, oh, the fight could get done if Bud didn't have no dealings with Kinningham. So it was okay to do it when you're once again trying to basically vilify somebody in the media again. But then when it comes to this negotiation, you're implying that Bud Crawford was the one that was delaying the process, when Easy Route is telling you that Al Haymon was delaying the process, trying to check and see if Bud was clear from any dealings or whatever the case. See, it's not one picture out there with Bud and Daniel Cunningham, but it is pictures with him with Eddie Hearns, Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? It is plenty other pictures out there, but these people continue to talk about just because it feels good to them. They'll bring up that he was attached to Cunningham, but no pictures out there. But they'll leave out when he's taking a picture with Warren Buffett, when he's taking a picture with Jay-Z, when he's taking a picture with two potential hedge fund investors that they don't want to talk about. But they want to talk about the ducking and shit. No, let's talk about the reality. Have you been able to find a picture of Bud Crawford out there with Cunningham? I mean, he brought up some good points.
He told this man he can't meet him because his mom is sick. The oldest trick in the book. They had no intentions of making this fight. Al Haymon had already planned Earl Spence Jr. career out since 2018 when Earl told us.
Hey, shout out to BIG on deck with the $5 super chat. Salute to your brother. Much appreciated. Thank you. Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good? Glad you're dropping some education information, OG. This is making some great points. Appreciate you. And shout out to everyone that's in the building, even the haters. You know what I'm saying? Even the haters. It's all good. Everybody in the chat real quick, if y'all could double check and make sure you smash the like button for Unc one time. It'll be greatly appreciated. Those who drop super chats, Unc will get to you. For sure. If you feel like donating, you know what I'm saying, do so. I'm not going to sit up here and browbeat you, though. But you want, that's my cash out right there if you want to. Or you can donate to the channel. Cape say Easy Route in the building. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Easy Route, man. So what he was basically trying to say is when it came down to it, and Bud Crawford was trying, tirelessly, right, to get across that, hey, I'm good. Let's keep it moving. Let's get this done. He even tried to bring some money to the table. And he said, man, above all else, check this out, bro. Above all else, man, I can come meet you. Let's meet in person. Let's go. And he said his mom was sick. That's not a lie. He said his mom was sick, bro. Bud put it out there like that. You just heard Easy Route put it out there like that. Plenty other people have said it, including myself. He wanted to meet Al Haymon in person. Al said his mom is sick. And like somebody said in my chat way back when, he said, so his mom is on the West Wing. You know what I'm saying? His mom is on the West Wing. He don't have nobody to take care of her. His mom is sick, man. She don't stop business. Business keep on flowing. She don't stop business. Seriously, that's just not the way it works. So I'm not a person that don't let someone else get off like some of these dudes. I'm gonna play the portion where Monnie Brown responded, because I'm not these niggas haters, bro. They straight up haters. Some of these dudes, they would have played just what he said and then wouldn't even play what I said. But I'm gonna give Monnie Brown his voice because he did respond to Easy Route and went like this.
The last guy on the list is Keith Thurman. Crawford's not on the list.
All right, brother. Now I gotta
They
stop
keep
you.
leading this man on for no reason.
Let me stop you, bro. Because now you keep talking about 2018. We in 2022. We not talking about no fucking 2018, bro. Now, wait a minute, bro. You stay talking about this and that, what Al said. Just listen. They had conversations. Terence Bud Crawford already said out his own mouth that he agreed to everything, right? His lawyer said he agreed to everything, right? Right? So you keep talking about it wasn't a contract. That's what you keep talking about.
See, Monnie Brown said his lawyer said, who lawyer? Didn't he have more than one lawyer? So when you say he agreed to everything, you have to be specific. If you're going to bring the information to the light and use it in a debate or argument, you have to have more specifics. They were saying when it was mentioned on mainstream, they say they agreed to everything, but they were still the attorneys was trying to figure out some language in there and make sure everything was cool. So it was kind of like some it was kind of like like a repetition of words that didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they said they agreed to everything, but yet the attorney still needs to look it over. They never gave complete clarity that everything was good to go, signed, sealed, delivered. Never did we hear that in the freaking news that was being presented to us. Never, bro. Never. We never heard that shit at all. We just heard, yeah, agreed to everything, and the attorney's gonna take a look at it. Never did we get a complete, oh, the contract is signed, sealed, delivered, and the date is November, whatever it's gonna be, and it's going down at this arena. Never. We never even heard an arena, dog. So how can y'all sit up here and put Bud Crawford at the forefront as if he sabotaged this negotiation when it was a whole lot of other variables that's included in this negotiation? You know what I'm saying? He pretty much wanted the man to come in there and take little to no money.
That's how you know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, fam. Now, once they got everything together what Terence Bud Crawford wanted, because he agreed and he wanted 3 things changed, they sent him the revised contract.
So those 3 things, Money, what were they? That's all I'm saying, brother. What 3 things? You can't say they wanted 3 things revived. No, we are not playing the kiddie game here. It's grown folks' business when it comes to this topic, especially. 3 things mean what? What? If you're giving your open argument in court, and you say, Your Honor, I have 3 things that I want to start with. Number 1 is you're gonna start to break that down. Number 2 is, and number 3 is. When you say 3 things, what are those 3 things? They can't be just phantom. You know what I'm saying? It can't just not be a phantom statement, and we just supposed to figure out what type of ghost we dealing with. What 3 things are you talking about, bro? What 3 things are you talking about?
Right? A revised contract to where the only thing Crawford had to do was sign the fucking contract. That was it. That was all, homie. That was it. That was all. Crawford went missing.
He had to sign the contract. That was it. That was all. I listen to language, real talk. When you say that was it, that was all, I would have rather you said that was it. They was fighting in November. He signed the contract. If he would have signed the contract, if it was a contract, that was it. It was over. Everything was done. Boom. But then you caveat and say he went missing. That's just not the way the timeline works when you hear how it was broke to the media by the PBC people, bro. They busy up here telling you that they sent him paperwork and they was feeling that he wasn't interested in the fight or committed to making the fight no more because they haven't heard anything back from him. What is he signing? You want him to say all he had to do is sign a contract. Man, we tired of hearing that shit. Shut up and dribble type shit. Lace up and box type of shit. Like, what are you saying per se? What are you saying per se? We need some mea culpa here, bro. Like, what are you saying per se? Let us know, what are you saying? He just had to sign the contract and what? And what? By what date? How long did he have it? How long did PBC have it? There's some information that's being jettisoned on purpose, bro.
Period. He went missing. This was the third. This the third thing they had to do, right? The third thing they had to do. Change the 3 things. All that shit got changed up. Crawford had nowhere else to go. Period. Neither one of them was getting a guarantee. They got their percentages. They gave him what he asked for, the transparency. And all he had to do was sign a fucking contract.
So now Money is saying they gave him what he wanted. They gave him the transparency. When? What transparency? Doesn't the transparency happens when the fight is made and they actually get to the point where they're fighting? How can transparency be applied if the action isn't there? The fight date isn't there. What is he getting transparency on? He can't look at any books on the prices and what the costs were because the paperwork hasn't been signed yet. So how the fuck he gets transparency before anything actually takes place and it's official? You haven't even made a damn announcement yet, bro. What is this transparency shit you talking about? Transparency to what? Looking at a term sheet himself? That ain't transparency. That's protocol. That's format. That's procedure, homie. That's not transparency. He's asking for transparency over to see what the expenses are like. And then he also went a step further to say, I want to see what's being, I wanted to prove the expenses on what's being purchased and everything. I want to be one of the approving authorities. And of course that takes it a little bit over the top. But, from what we heard, Al say absolutely not. So these same individuals, you have to understand. They're saying that Al gave him transparency. How can transparency be applicable if we haven't moved anywhere? We haven't even moved to a complete signed, sealed, delivered freaking contract from both parties to move forward with a fight date, announcement, and a venue, ticket sales, and all that. Going into, where's the transparency at, bro? I can see what you're talking about where the percentages are at. Okay, good. The percentages, cool. He accepted 35. He called your bluff. Y'all didn't think he was going to take it. He took it. Then y'all come up with something else. Where's the transparency supposed to lie? Where? What transparencies? He can't even get up to a point to meet him in person because his mother's sick. Is that transparency money? That's not transparency, brother. Like, what are you talking about? You got to be detailed, brother. Like, where's this transparency at, bro? He wanted to meet Al Haymon for transparency, but he said his mother was sick. So where's the transparency, man? Transparency to what? Look at paperwork?
And we will have a fight right now. You understand? Why you think Crawford didn't tell you? Hold on, wait a minute, bro. I just let you go. Why the fuck?
Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw Team Tucker. He said, smash the like button. The Netflix documentary told us Al Haymon doesn't like to do business with outsiders, but y'all been dummies and Crawford haters. That's true, absolute, complete facts. True and absolute, complete facts. It was mentioned that he said he didn't want nobody else to touch it when it came to the hedge funds. Why are y'all ignoring this, bro? Why do you think a person like me is going to get a headache figuring this shit out? No, bro. This is like Play-Doh, man. This is like Play-Doh. Y'all sit up here and build something, and it took you 6 hours to do it off some Play-Doh. And I'm like, okay. Okay. Let's see how it looks tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that's going to hold permanent. Zaga Yaga, man, OG, I was hoping you would have reached to that EJ versus Bud debate KO did the other night. I want to know how you would have destroyed KO arguing for Bud. I also want to know how Dude was wrong. When I look at that, I got to stay on topic because I'll definitely get off topic talking about that. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I feel a lot of these people are basically reacting to certain videos that I do. And they know that certain things are going to be biased, and they want me to actually, to a point right now, they want me to speak on their name. They want me to speak on something that they obviously know that was BS. You know what I'm saying? And they'll sit up there, oh, I hear you bitch ass, y'all talking. And listen, bro. Listen, man. If you put shit out here for public record, don't be mad when people look at it. Stop it. Sean Porter, the documentary Counterpunch, told us Al Haymon doesn't do business outside. He is a in-house pimp, my bad advisor, aka Dollar Bill from the Players Club. Talk that shit, man. Hey, Blunt say, I'm gonna let you stick around for a second because you ain't got the heart to come in here under your real name. So let's give attention to you real quick. Yeah, I see him out there, but you just can't immediately address him, because it gets off topic. Like some people, they see it in there, they want to, no, I got a different protocol. I pick and choose, pick and choose, you know what I'm saying? Pick and choose who I want. Okay, let's get back to the
you think Crawford
The
didn't tell
audio.
you motherfuckers everything? Why you think when Earl Spence told him, yes, and we gave you everything you asked for, and Terence Bud Crawford switched the entire situation and said, yeah, but you're not your own boss. Yeah, when I started shaking the bacon, then y'all wanted to come and do this and do that. Bro, y'all are negotiating, fam. Period. You are a part of the reason why the fight got drugged past November the 19th date.
Okay, now you put a date out there, okay? Great stuff, Money. Let me ask you this, though. You saying that Bud Crawford drugged the fight past November 19th. It's November 12th today. Look, the negotiation did not have a timeline on it, my brother. It didn't have a deadline, brother. It didn't have a deadline. So you cannot once again put this blame on Crawford, saying that it was him that was procrastinating and placing a delay on them trying to reach a certain deadline. Negotiations didn't have a deadline from my understanding. No one has mentioned that the deadline was this date right here. So let's go back a little bit.
Y'all not holding Terence Bud Crawford feet to the fire, fam. He's negotiating with 2 other motherfucking companies, but you're not your own boss. Yeah, when I started shaking the bacon, then y'all wanted to come and do this and do that. Bro, y'all are negotiating, fam. Period. You're a part of the reason why the fight got drugged past November the 19th date.
So we know that's not true because we're sitting November 12th, okay? And the fight wasn't drugged past anything. We knew damn well when Steven Espinosa came out and said that, yeah, it looks a little bleak, but it's not totally dead yet. And I'll reiterate, Blue went on there and said, yeah, that Steven Espinosa said the fight ain't dead yet. I just want to prove to y'all that they had a November 19th fight date. But he also mentioned he don't think the fight is going to happen. He did. But in this particular case, Money, you said that Terence Crawford drugged the fight past November 19th. I'm telling you that it didn't have a deadline. What was the cutoff date to have the paperwork back? What is the details that we're missing here? What are the details on that fight that Terence Crawford have to return paperwork back to Team Spence or Al Haymon or whatever at a certain deadline? It didn't have a deadline. So how can he push the fight past November 19th? We still haven't even got there. And then, you know, common sense will tell you a fight of this magnitude, you can't have a month and a half to promote this fight. And it's in Vegas near the holiday season. Man, y'all are not being fair with yourselves, brother. Come on, man. There's no way that you can sit up here and believe that a fight that's during the holidays in November, you have very minimal time to promote it. You know the shit was out of the water, flopping on this damn shore, period. You knew it was. You knew this fight wasn't going to happen, but y'all just want to come up here and skip around and say it was Terence Crawford's fault. I mean, come on, man. This is play school, man.
Y'all not holding Terence Bud Crawford feet to the fire, fam. He's negotiating with 2 other motherfucking companies to try to make the fight happen. He said out his own mouth when he came to Al Haymon with the $50 million deal, right? It became an altercation. We know what the definition of an altercation is.
So who's the 2 other companies that he was trying to get to make the fight? What 2 other companies? Because BLK was the one that was primarily mentioned in the conversation. So what 2 other companies are we speaking on exactly? Are we talking about individuals willing to be investors for the fight that he's trying to make? You know what I'm saying? The fight that he's trying to make, he's trying to bring investment money over to make the fight because that's guarantee money. We're not talking about back end 35%. We're talking about guarantee money. We're talking about that type of money. We're talking about for sure money. It seems like the Spencerholics are wanting this to go to a 65-35 on the back end, so Terence Crawford can get paid pennies. When he was looking at it like this is supposed to be one of the biggest fights, one of the most toughest fights. I want to go somewhere and source somebody to basically finance and contribute. And it's not like he didn't present it to Al Haymon. He presented the shit to Al Haymon. He told him. And Al Haymon told him what? I don't want nobody else touching this. Why would you put a ceiling on it? So he told him. Man, come on. Like, you act like he didn't tell him. And you know, just because it was some type of altercation, he never met in person. So what was the altercation? Remotely? Non-physical energy?
Right? So once they got past that shit, they started talking about percentages again. But Terence Bud Crawford wanted that $25 million up front. That's why he can't stop talking about the shit. He said out his own, oh, well, Al is in position to do what's best for Earl Spence. In his head, he always thought Al was trying to fuck him. Yes, he liked Al Haymon. He liked the way he talk all that shit, but in his head, he wasn't thinking right, fam.
No. You can't say he wasn't thinking right. Because when he was at Top Rank, y'all was saying how Bob Aaron was treating him like shit, right? But that man was getting some guaranteed bread. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about out the oven. You know what I'm saying? That was some good, soft, tasty gourmet bread he was getting, guaranteed money. So he's supposed to go over here to PBC, right? Where they have to say, thank you, Al Haymon, for your service. I'd like to thank Al Haymon for my service. I'd like to thank Al Haymon for my service. I'd like to thank Al Haymon for my wraps. Thank Al Haymon for my gloves. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my breath. I thank you for my religion. I thank you for just being in your earth. I know you earn earth, Al Haymon. You own it. You earn earth. And thank you for allowing me to exist on your property. You have a dude that has all these stipulations, and Bud Crawford doesn't have to be on high alert. He doesn't have to be very cautious with every step he takes. He's going in their business, right? You was whining and complaining and being racist about him being at Top Rank, and he was Top Rank Toby and all this other shit. But now he's supposed to go over here to the black man and just let his guard down and go up in there and just do what exactly? What is he supposed to do? He's supposed to do everything that you've seen him do or that you heard him do. He's supposed to be careful. He's supposed to be, dotting his I's and crossing his T's. He's supposed to seek legal representation. He's supposed to basically read and review. So people won't be up here talking about, well, if you want to keep a secret from a black man, all you got to do is put it in the book. And we know damn well there's been boxers in the sport that they don't read. And what happened? They find out they locked into a goddamn contract and they on the shelf for years. And look, when we talk about it, hey man, what's going on with so and so? Oh man, he on the shelf, dog. Something they got going on with that contractual dispute. They got to go to court for that shit and all that. Everybody can't do what Mikey Garcia did, but he did it. Mikey Garcia had to leave and go handle some business, spent over $1 million in legal fees and shit out the sport for many months. Came back to be able to make a fight like that for what he fought with Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get what you're saying, Money, when you know what I'm saying? Like you think he's supposed to just go over there and just oblige somebody that's not in his best interest. Errol Spence is the best interest of Al Haymon, not Terence Crawford.
He said one thing and he did another. So let me ask you something, bro. And let's see if you be real. When you say you agree to everything, right? Don't that mean you agree to everything? Come on, bro. Okay, so right, all right, and I'm gonna let you go. So if Terence Bud Crawford telling us I agree to everything, all I wanted was transparency. Then when Earl Spence came out and said, show the draft, right? The draft is what you got before they put everything on the contract. And you got the transparency that you asked for. They put that shit into the contract. Once everybody agrees.
Look, once again, fast talkers, slow listeners. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a slow listener when you have a fast talker. Seriously. What I mean by that, you have to slow shit down even though you're listening to it in real time, real speed. You have to slow it down. You have to process it. If you're talking about they gave him transparency on what? You have to be specific on what you're talking about, bro. You just can't say they gave him transparency. They gave him a draft. I thought it was a contract. The way these people in aerosexual was talking, it was just a contract from day one. Oh, wait, contract, sign. No, it wasn't that way. So you're talking about a draft, right? You talking about the draft. So if they sent the draft or whatever, term sheet and, contracts, and they gave him the transparency he wants. Transparency is not letting him look at paperwork that is part of the damn procedure. That's not transparency. That is format. That is protocol. That is procedure for both fighters to take a look at the contract, man. That's not transparency. Transparency on what we're talking about is him asking for what? To see the books, since he's getting net on the back end. Even Max put it out there. He's getting net, 30% of the net. So Bud was like, hey, am I going to be able to look at the books? Hell no. Is there any way I can get authorization for approving expenses? Hell no. So what is this constant remediation of transparency? Him looking at a contractual agreement or a draft of an agreement for the fighters, the basic preliminaries for the fighters, that ain't transparency. That's motherfucking law. That ain't transparency, bro. Like, that's something that's supposed to happen. Period. That's supposed to happen. That ain't transparency.
Everything, and they sent him the revised contract. All he had to do was sign the contract. He got everything he asked for. Neither one was getting up front. Terence Bud Crawford went off and did business with BLK and ain't say shit back to them people, bro.
They did not, because it's out there in public, on record, on when they sent that shit back to him and what was changed on there. It's out there. It's on record, man, that the fight wasn't going to be this year, and Crawford made it perfectly clear. What did he make it perfectly clear? You know how he made it perfectly clear? Because Monnie Brown said earlier, well, later on in this live, he said that if he was to fight in December, he can fight in January, February, right? So that proves right there that what they sent Crawford back, okay, you can't have it your way all the time. It ain't Burger King. If they sent the paperwork back and had a different date that goes against what Crawford originally was basically in there negotiating, that he wanted to fight this year, why would Money sit up here and say, well, if you can fight December, you can fight January, February? Crawford never made it a point to say, I want to fight 2023. He said, I want to fight this year. That's what he said. He said, I want to fight this year. So why would he accept the go back and they send him a contract for 2023 and he's supposed to sign it and we got to fight? He wants to fight this year, brother. This year. Period. What's the problem? He wanted to fight this year. They didn't send him back no contract and he left to go to BLK. That's not the way it is. Because it's also information out there that when BLK initially contacted him, he said, no, I'm focused on Errol Spence. Okay, if he's focused on Errol Spence, let's go back to the negotiation process and him directing all his focus to PBC and that negotiation. Let's go back to him reaching out to Errol Spence when he wanted to bring some money in there and say, hey, got 25 per. I got some people that's willing to invest 25 per. And what he say, Errol Spence said, what about the back end money? Because Spence is used to, he's conditioned to speak on that back end money because it's already some shit he knows internally to the PBC about how he's going to get paid. But if you're going to get 25 million guarantee money, you talking about back end money, something's going wrong. It's some motherfuckers that's goddamn jumping into the synapses gap and still over that motherfucker. It's some shit that's not being relayed. I'm telling you. It's some shit that's not being relayed, bro.
And as a man, that ain't real shit.
That's not what happened. Crawford told us what happened.
You gonna say, what did Crawford tell you what happened, fam?
He said, because Alan Haymon said he couldn't meet up with Terence Crawford to close the deal this year.
Bro,
Crawford told Al, like,
bro, you talking about the phone call. We passed that, my brother. We passed that.
That's
because, listen, fam, did you hear what he said? After all that shit, they came back and agreed. You stay talking about the phone call with Al Haymon why they couldn't meet up, right? Which don't even happen in the first place with fighters because I don't advise you, right?
It's happened before.
Listen, I don't advise you, fam. You have lawyers to look over your shit and you get your shit together. Period. So if Al didn't want to go sit down with him, Al didn't have to sit down with him. That's not my job to sit down with you. That's why Earl Spence was able to go do what the fuck he was doing. We talking back and forth.
You gotta know who you talking to, though, bro.
You know who you're talking to because you're on the phone dealing with him.
Not necessarily. And then you say that's why Errol Spence was able to go do what he was gonna do. Now you gotta, like, for fast talkers, you gotta listen slowly. That's why Errol Spence was able to do what he wanted to do. So let's understand one thing. This is a time period where they supposed to have been in fight camp, getting ready for a fight in November, right? But Errol Spence was able to go do what he was gonna do. What was that? Going to Disney World? Because you're basically trying to say Al Haymon was out here advocating and being the mouthpiece. So you're trying to tell me you're debating that the fight was gonna happen in November. And it was cause of Crawford because all he had to do was sign. Al Haymon is not his advisor, so he don't have to sit down with him. And that's why Errol Spence, having Al Haymon as his advisor, he was able to go to Disney World. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because I thought they were supposed to be in fight camp. How are you going to Disney World and you're supposed to be in fight camp for one of the biggest fights and we're getting close to November? Why would you be in Disney World? Why would that be on the schedule? I don't know, but let me get some of these chats, bro. Jesus Christ, bro, man. He said because it's funny to see Wills go hard for Bud or Spence like that. They didn't play everyone stupid. I don't see him as sounding annoying. You know, when you say somebody's sounding annoying, you're not trying to pay attention to what they actually said. And also, it's up to you on how much attention you want to provide to somebody when you're listening to them. If you don't want to really, if you feel right off the hand what you're hearing is not what you want to hear, you back up. You basically have the option to go elsewhere. Nigga, people can do what the fuck they want. You low-key a weirdo for worrying about what other grown niggas doing on their own platforms, man. You ain't never lied on that. Espinosa was lying the whole time. He said the percentage was close to 50-50. See, you know, I'm trying to keep it on a narrow corridor when I'm speaking to people, like just specifically talking about money and easy route, talking about this. Though my response, I do bring in other collateral situations that was on the timeline in this whole situation, right? You know, I can bring in those because it still ties down to what they're talking about via this audio. It still ties into that. I just want to like kind of get clarification as to why these groupies are out here continue to say that Bud was the reason. Bud was the reason. Well, if Bud was the reason, always understand one thing, that when you're highlighting that Al Haymon is the advisor, don't you think Bud has limitations too? If he's dealing with Al Haymon and Errol Spence don't have to do shit, and Al Haymon is the one that sits here making all the decisions, who knows who over at PBC? They know Al Haymon, right? Okay, so if Bud is coming over there with himself and his attorneys, and the first thing out y'all mouth is say, Al's not his advisor. Okay. Cool. What about if he was signed with a promotion? So you're going to get somebody that's supposed to be advocating for Bud. Now we can talk. Now Al is going to talk. Okay. If it was Bob Arrowman, any one of those, you know what I'm saying? Now we can talk. But extract the promotion and you have a different entity that's not a promoter. You know what I'm saying? He's a fighter and he has a manager and an attorney. You're trying to tell me the freaking communication is restricted because now you're dealing with a fighter without a promoter? He's still a body. He's still a body that's trying to negotiate. He's still a motherfucking body. You're gonna say Al Haymon ain't Errol Spence. Well, you don't think these other people, let's just say he's with Top Rank, you don't think they get on the phone and talk? You don't think the damn language is different? Yes, it's much different. It's all about perception. It's all about the level of respect that Al is willing to give Bud Crawford. Of course, if you come over there and they understand that you don't have all the experience as to what you're doing and you're working on the fly, of course somebody like Al is going to try to damn hold his feet to the fire and attempt to damn bully him a little bit. Of course. He said, I'm going to take my belt off. Thomas, what's good? He said, those guys are simple. They live with blinders on. If Money going to put stuff like that out, better bring receipts. That's all I'm saying. Listen to a fast talker slowly, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. Just listen to him slowly. Seriously, you talking about the last time they sent the paperwork and all he had to do was sign? For what date? For what venue? What was the timeline? What was all that shit, bro? We just can't sit up here and play this ball game like this, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't say you're in the major leagues, but yet you want them to picture you with a tennis ball. Stop it.
If you got your lawyers, if you have your team, bro, and we're going back and forth, it's up to you and your team to negotiate what you want, not us sitting down and we have to be face to face. It's up. That's why you think Earl Spence told Terence Crawford, oh, I have a strong team. Why you think y'all was coming back saying, oh, why you want this in the contract and why you want that in the contract? What Earl Spence say? You do got a strong team, and we gave you everything you asked for. Come on, man, be realistic with the shit if you're gonna be real, bro.
Bro, but
everything you asked for is what exactly? We need details to everything you asked for. What did Terence Crawford ask for? Because the last time we checked, it was a big deal made by these same individuals talking about why does Crawford need to see the books? Who does that? So if the big topics of discussions were Crawford wanted to see the books and he wanted to be the proven authority over expenses because he was getting a net profit on the back end of 35%, and that was refuted. That was clearly refuted that Al Haymon didn't like that, didn't want that to happen. So what else is what Crawford asked for? Because he didn't ask for no motherfucking 35%. What did he ask for? What did he ask for, bro? I'm just curious. Because he didn't ask for 35%. Y'all wanted him to get 35%. He didn't ask for that shit. Y'all thought he wasn't going to take it. So he took it. Then you came with something else. So what was he asking for? The only thing I can see him asking for is when he brought that 25 mil over there per fighter. Now you got 50 mil sitting up there, and all of a sudden, oh no, I don't want nobody else touching this fight. Why'd you want to put a cap on it? So you trying to tell me that he had the opportunity to make that shit with the net profits? He had the open window to make 25 million off the net profits on the back end without seeing the books. All right. I got it. He was gonna make that shit on the back end without looking at the books, y'all. I got it. 25 million, y'all. I got it. Cool. You can get the link any day on my channel. I'm entertaining you on my shit. That's a fact. This nigga still talking? What are he talking about? Haynes Legacy, what's good? Thank you for the super chat, my brother. $2 said kill him off. Yeah, for real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Carl on deck, salute. Rick, if I'm wrong, but then Bud say the back end was 80-20 and the back end went to he went on live on IG. Last time I checked, it was a 65-35. That's the only thing I can basically speak on. And then, you know, the percentages didn't even really make a difference because he agreed on the percentages. He was willing to make the fight. So he didn't care about none of that. He agreed to make the fight. He was good. He was solid. He was solid, bro. He was solid on making that shit. He was solid on making that. You know what I'm saying? He was solid. He was solid. He was cool with the percentages. He said, "Fuck it, I'll take that low percentage for a high reward. No doubt about it. That's what I would do. I'm all about making this fight." That dude's a clown. He been to one of EJ fight. He doesn't know shit about boxing. He been just the one. That Showtime, just one of his fights, bro. Look, they get in their feelings. Like, listen, bro. It's probably one of them that's down at the bottom. It's probably one of them at the bottom. Real talk. That's probably why they mad. Shout out to Tony Boswell on deck with a $5 super chat on deck. Much respect at World Combat Sports in the chat. Stop by the show support, working to listen. Salute to you, Tony. As always, brother. One love to the fam, man. Thank you for pulling up. Gooch on deck. What's good? Yeah, man. Yeah, she on the West Wing chilling, ain't she? Eating caviar in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So, shout out to Randy on there. He said that's why you put people in place to handle those things, like Earl. Have people in place to handle those things so he won't have to sit in meetings. He trusts his people. So I'll tell you this, Randy. This is the way I look at it. How many times have Bud had to sit in this position? All right. I'm pretty sure this one moment alone, this one negotiation alone has taught him a lot. It has improved his knowledge on being able to negotiate. Now, of course, we already know before then he was signed with a promotion, right? We know that because the Errol Spence groupies that always talking about Bud Crawford, they was sitting there here crying, talking about why Bud re-signed with Top Rank, right? So we know he wasn't in this position prior to. So now that he is at this point in his career, it is a reason as to why he's here. It's a reason why he took that risk to say, I'm going to go dolo. Boom, I'm going to go out here and see what it is. Y'all saying, oh, he should be like Errol. Errol don't have a choice. Errol's locked in. Errol isn't smart enough to basically take a stance like Terence Crawford is doing. He's not smart enough. Y'all have to admit to it, Randy. You know Errol Spence ain't smart enough to do what Bud's doing right now. He simply isn't. So you can't sit up here and excoriate the fact that Bud is assuming a position where he definitely have to multitask. He definitely have to be a person that's scrutinizing these freaking language in the contract. He has to pay attention, and he has to do his due diligence with his attorneys to go over everything. What's wrong with that? Because I hate going back to my people. I hate to go back to the stereotype when they say, oh, well, we can't progress as a people. Oh, well, our percentages of success in business is not as high as it could be because we're afraid the white man can do this to us and all that. But listen, what if it's a brother? What if it was a brother? You know what I'm saying? This brother, Terence Crawford, is trying to do business with another highly successful businessman. And it seems like the one that graduated top 3% of Harvard and knows the business, he's trying to just go up here and destroy any chances of making this fight. Like the last 4 opponents that Errol Spence had didn't have to go through this. And this same individual, Alan Haymon, was there. He was there when those 4 fights was made. So what's the difference with Crawford? All because he's coming over there and he's not signed to a promoter, and you saying, oh, well, as a man, he just don't have it. It's not a smart move. Why not? Were y'all saying that when Canelo went to court to get up out of that 365? Were y'all over there saying that shit? Were y'all back there in the day saying it when Rory was up here being independent without a promoter? Were y'all criticizing him? Hell no. You wasn't doing none of that shit, bro. You weren't doing none of that. Whatever he asked for, he got. So you know he was asking for 35%. So you know he was asking for 35%. So you trying to tell me Al Haymon was gonna allow him to take a look at the books, and he was gonna allow Terence Crawford to freaking approve expenses, right? Because last time I checked, he made a big deal about that. So you trying to tell me that's what it was? Shout out to Captain Chaos in the building, man. What's good with the Chaos? Nobody knows who's holding the 50 million, but Crawford don't. That's strange. Excuse me. I mean, that's a broken sentence. I don't know what you're saying. Nobody know who's holding the 50 million, but Crawford don't. That seems strange. Nobody never said he didn't know. If he brought the monies up to the attention during the negotiation process, you think he just came up with a situation that sounded good with the numbers, and he didn't have no idea who was the investors? Come on, bro. We're not doing that. We're not doing that because Al Haymon didn't even want to entertain that shit, dog. Shout out to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more on deck. What's good with it? What's going on, New Media Today? Coach Malachi in the building. Salute to you. I don't need to send no link, brother. I'm not going into long detail about what y'all brothers think. I send a link when I feel like it. I already know who you are. Whether you come over here on Randy, or you come over here Deacon, or you come over here whatever the name is, bro. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Whatever name you want to come under. No need for me to drop a link on this shit, because it's the same remediated. Your fighter, whoever you're rooting for, outside of Bud Crawford, he doesn't have a fight right now. And if Bud Crawford was getting everything that he wanted to get, then why would we be in the media talking about the shit that was delaying the damn negotiation process, man? If he got everything he wanted, when? What week? What day, bro? Just don't say he got everything he want, and that's that. He should have signed. Were y'all there? Did you not hear Letitia Crawford mention y'all act like y'all in negotiations? Y'all dudes act like you're in the negotiations, bro. I speak from a position where I always know I'm on the outside. I don't have constant communication with Team Crawford. I do not. All my research is done through labor, through searching, you know what I'm saying, archiving and shit like that. But the Spencerholics, man, y'all speak as if, hey, he got everything he want. What did he want? What did he want? What did he want? What did he get? When did he get it? Give me a date. Show me a doc. Show me a soft copy. Show me something that details when this happened. They approved that he gets this, and this. Anything else? Because listen, Randy, y'all ain't making sense, man. You try to say that Bud Crawford came over there with doubt, right? So it's going to be difficult because he's dealing with Al Haymon, right? Because Al Haymon's represent Errol Spence. But on the other hand, you up here want to say in that same voice that Bud came over there and he was requesting and he got everything he wanted. So why y'all trying to act like, oh man, well, see, you don't come over here and try to negotiate. That's why Errol Spence has a team lined up for him to do it. That's why you're not getting. Just say it. That's why you're not getting what you want, because you didn't come over here with a promotion, people that can advocate for you. But then you turn right back around and say, in the same sense, well, Terrence got everything he asked for. So if it was that easy, why do y'all sit up here and continue to brag about Errol Spence not having to attend the meeting? Because Al Haymon is up there for him. If it went along smoothly like you think, and you're saying that this dude got everything he wanted, why are we having this conversation if it went down like that? It don't make any sense. The shit don't add up. Y'all are one minute talking about, yeah, he getting what he get. Shouldn't have came over there like that. He shouldn't have came over there like that. That's why you have managers, promoters. He shouldn't have came over there like that. And then on the other hand, you say, oh, Bud, he's getting everything he asked for. Then that proves to me he don't need a motherfucking promoter. Which one is it, bro? Does he need a promoter with him, or does he don't need a promoter? Is Al Haymon teach him a lesson because he represent Arrow and Arrow don't have to be in attendance? So he's the one that's speaking to him and he's in a good place right now, but Bud's in a world of shit? Which one is it? He got everything he wanted? When? How long did it take? What did he get? Because all y'all niggas come over here talking the same shit. Y'all listen to the same ex parte channels and talk the same left side heavy type narratives, and you want to come over here and repeat the same thing. When? What is the date? What did he get approved for? What did he request? And what was the approval date? You trying to tell me he's going to get transparency, right? I got it. Look, Bruce can vouch for you. That's okay. I'm telling you, Terence Crawford is fighting December 10th. My position on this whole deal is pretty much talking to the listeners and doing a live on it. That's it. What is there to debate? If you're not showing me documentation, if you're not giving me any other criteria that I've already presented and spoke on, it's just going to be my opinion against your opinion. And I'm not gonna sit here and just listen to what's being repeated on certain audio that I have listened to. That's why I listen to the other side, so I can have moments like this to know, okay, this is what you're talking about, and I think you heard it from over here. I don't want to hear what people know about boxing history. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm talking about specifically about this situation right here and what transpired. If you don't have documentation, if you don't have a timeline for me, if you don't have a cutoff date for paperwork to be returned, then what are we debating on? If you can't tell me what exactly he got approved for, what did he get approved for? Money said he got 3 things. He asked for 3 things, he got them. He never said what the 3 things were. You know what? You know what? I'm going to give you the opportunity. Brother, I'm going to give you the opportunity. I'm not saying how much, I'm not going to say how much patience I got. I'm going to give you the opportunity. This link is just strictly for Randy. Don't get up here preaching. Brother, I don't have time for it today. I'm just being real with you. I'm just being real. Don't get up here preaching to me about what you know about boxing and what was said here and all that other shit. Bro, that link is for Randy, and it is what it is, bro. I'm here to listen to what you got to say. Let go, man. The link is there, bro. Sticking what's good. What's good? Hey, Randy, you gonna click the link or not, man? You got 3 minutes, brother. You got 3 minutes. Okay, what's good? Talk to me, bro.
World Combat, what's going on with you?
What good? What's good?
Man, I can't call it. Been a minute since we chopped it up, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear what you have to say on this situation, man. You know, I hope it ain't no goddamn paper, confetti and shit falling from the ceiling.
No, I ain't got no confetti for you, baby. I ain't got no confetti for you. I'm just saying, if Crawford didn't get everything he wanted, why did he agree? If he wanted a limousine with everything else, he could have said, I got everything but the limousine. Give me the limousine, and I agree to everything. But once he agreed to everything, the conversation ended because ain't nothing to talk about. If I agree with you, what I'm back and forth with you about? If me and you agree on the same thing, why do we go back and forth?
They never concluded that he agreed with everything, and then they was moving forward with an official announcement. They said the fighters agreed to everything, and the attorneys was going to take a look at the information, the paperwork, and all that. That's what they said.
So you telling me he didn't agree?
I'm not telling you he didn't agree. Y'all keep saying he agreed, right?
He said he agreed. I didn't. He said it.
Look, both fighters agreed. But also, they did put out here in the media that the attorneys had to look over the paperwork. Did they not? Did they not say the attorneys had to, after the fighters say they agreed, the attorneys had to look over the paperwork? Did they not put that out there?
Okay. That's okay.
Your phone went out.
The attorneys agree. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your phone went out. I mean, like it's robotic right now.
I'm sorry, man. I'm traveling down here in Tallahassee. Okay. And we going toward Monticello. I know you from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know where Tallahassee is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going back through, headed toward Monticello. But anyway, that's standard practice for the attorneys to look over the paperwork. But if there was something different in there, or there was something that was in there that Bud didn't agree to, that's where his attorney goes back to Earl's attorney and say, "Hey, look at man, y'all put this in there. We didn't agree to that. We need that changed." Because that's what all that. Because ain't nobody said that. Errol said what he said. Now Errol said what he said, but Terence never did say he was lying. Errol said he gave him everything he wanted. Errol said he even gave him stuff that he asked for previous to him asking for it the second time or the third time, something like that. But he gave him something he had already asked for that was already in there. So I mean,
what was it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's
sure.
That's the point. A lot of y'all don't know what was agreed upon or what was given and all this. But what we do know is that the attorneys look over that paperwork and came back to Crawford and told him certain things that he should be concerned about. And then that's when his attorneys pretty much told him that, hey, every time we speak to them about this, and this, they try to put something else in there, and they don't really want to make the fight.
So where you get that information from? Because I haven't heard of that.
That's out there, brother. That's out there in the media, bro. You know what I'm saying? His attorneys, you heard the situation where he got rid of one attorney for another attorney, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore
I heard about that.
So therefore the attorney is there to revise and review. So once they was looking over these documentations, which wasn't the contract, they looking over these freaking documentation, trying to see if the language is everything it should be. And the attorneys found some concerns and told Crawford. Then the attorney went over there and said, okay, they got with the attorney that worked with Al Haymon or whatever, whoever the way is set up. And then they say, what about this, and this? And then that's when, he pretty much came, hey, listen, I brought that to their attention. And they keep on trying to insert shit in here and make it difficult. They don't want to fight.
So why didn't that come out and and then Crawford say when Earl said we gave you everything you asked for, we gave it to you.
So
if I'm lying, why not? I'm not saying take Earl Spence's word, but at least if you lie on me, World Combat, and I know you lying on me, I'm gonna clean my face. Now you know you lying, World Combat. You know you didn't do that, or you know I didn't do that. You see what I'm saying?
So Randy, 1 minute you saying that it's a reason why Al Haymon is speaking for Errol Spence, But on the other hand, you acting like Errol Spence, his word is born, and every time he speaks, his word is born. If he really want to be a part of something, bring your punk ass to the negotiation.
But why do I have to come to the negotiation when I got a lawyer? That's just like, check this out, word come back. I just got on a wreck 4 months ago. Check this out. I just got on a wreck 4 months ago, coming out of Florida. I hit a in semi-truck. I hit a lady. I hired a lawyer. You know what they told me? You don't even have to come to court. We go to court for you. So I didn't even go to court. I got a letter. I got an email said that was handled.
Randy, I got you, bro.
Continued to do what I was doing.
To stay on topic, man.
I'm staying on topic.
Randy,
Earl got people in place. Earl got people in place, so I don't have to meet with you is what I'm trying to get you.
It's almost
I don't have to meet with you, Terrence.
What my alphabets are, the first 3 letters of my alphabet. I don't care to hear that. I'm talking about this whole entire situation.
That was the answer to the question.
With Crawford and Spence. No.
Your question was what?
That.
Why Earl didn't sit to the table with Terrence to negotiate, right? That was your question, right?
I'm trying to explain to you that if 1 second y'all say that Earl has freaking Al Haymon speaking for him, right? But then on the other hand,
Al is his advisor. He has other people. He has other people in places to speak. Al is not his attorney, so he's not going to be in his attorney.
I already know who Al Haymon is. Why are you telling me that? I'm talking about 1 minute. Y'all say that's why Errol Spence has Al Haymon speaking for him. And then in another sense, you will sit up here and try to act like everything Errol Spence says is golden. Well, if he's not there, how did he know what Al is talking about? How can he be clear on what Al is speaking on? If he's not in the room, if he's not on the conference call, and he has people speaking for him, how does Errol Spence's word is born comes to truth? How does it come to light? If he know what the fuck is going on.
I never said his word was the truth. I said, and I didn't say Al speaking for him. I don't know who said that because I know he got people in places to speak for him. But this is what I said. I said if whoever told him what they told him and he repeated it, if it was a lie, because I don't know who told him. If it was a lie, why didn't Terrence correct it? See, this is the thing. I'm a fan of boxing. I'm not a fan of either one.
Randy, we ain't going down that road. I need specifics. I need specifics on what he told him, man. What he told him.
I just said I don't know, just like you don't know everything.
I didn't say I know
everything. And when you don't know, if you just give me something, then you giving me your.
What did Crawford verify? I mean,
I said Errol said he gave Crawford everything he asked for.
What is it?
If he was lying, I don't know what he gave him. I don't know what he asked for. I just told you that. So
it ain't no freaking debate.
Listen, I know he had. It got to be because I know he had to. He had to at least give him everything that they negotiated on because he said he agreed. He said he agreed because he said he agreed. You don't have to. I don't have to go back and forth with you if we agree. We change conversation if we agree.
Money said the other night, the 3 things he agreed upon. What is those 3 things? If you want to speak on 3 things, then what? Mention it to the people.
Whatever
Give us fine details.
That's what I'm trying to tell you about Crawford. He need to be telling us if Earl lying or not. Evidently he's not, because evidently
ass. Yeah, he did.
He might have said they were dragging their foot. He might have said they were dragging their foot.
They wanted to goddamn change up the date. They wanted to change up the year. They wanted to fight next year when Crawford made it perfectly clear he wanted to fight in 2022.
He could say that, but he can't. He can't tell Earl he lying about they didn't give him.
You don't believe him?
I don't know whether he lied or not. I don't know whether he lied or not. I'm saying what I'm telling you.
Telling the truth. You say why would
Errol Spence tell a lie? Was telling the truth. I said I didn't say why would he tell a lie. Don't put words in my mouth. I said if Errol Spence came out and said what he said, if he was lying on Crawford, then Crawford would come out and say he lied. That's what I said.
How is Crawford
just like and then I went back?
Look, how is Crawford able to get his word out, and all the damn Spence groupies trying to say he lying about everything, he ducking, he ain't being truthful. Look, he's not going to be the person to sit up here and try to explain to people that doesn't want to give him a fair shake, to speak his piece and tell him what's going on, because Crawford's there, right? Errol Spence is the one that can't give his piece because he's not there. He don't know what Al Haymon's every word is. He's not there. But Crawford's there on the phone. He's on the conversation. So what Terence Crawford is telling us is firsthand information. What Errol Spence is telling us is third, fourth, fifth, whenever he goddamn wakes up from a stupor, from the paint type of information.
So just like you just said, how is he able to get his word out the same way he talk about everything else, the same way he said he's somebody that's got $50 million, 25 apiece for them, but don't nobody seem to know who these people is. Don't nobody seem to know who these people is.
Nobody seems to know. What are you talking about? He haven't told nobody in the public who it is. Was that Akin Barak, the interview he was on? And they said, well, Earl said, you did not say that. Earl? In the after fact, why does he need to tell the Zone Boxing who the hedge funds, and his whole intent is to go ahead and defeat Avanesian and then return back to negotiations? Why would he disclose who is the
because this man assassinating his character? Because this man assassinating
who's assassinating? Who's
Earl.
Assassinating?
If you
Errol
say
Spence?
if Earl lied, then he assassinating his character. But if Earl telling the truth, then he's making Terence look like a liar.
So once again, Errol Spence can be on the outside, not even a part of the phone conversations, and he can assassinate somebody's character, and the Spencerholics believe that shit when Errol is not a part of any phone conversation at all. So why are you all even entertaining?
But he trusts because he trusts his people.
Pay attention to Crawford and Al Haymon.
Didn't Crawford fire somebody? Didn't Crawford fire one of his lawyers?
So what does that have to do with
that? You said you told me that because I don't know why he fired them, but a good reason to fire him is because you don't trust them. So if I got people put in place that have got me this far, that has helped me to make the successful person that I am.
Who said that attorney? Didn't he have an attorney that was appointed and he didn't know the guy? He never seen the guy?
He fired him. If he trusted him, he would have kept him.
No, that's not. Maybe he didn't know him, bro. Haven't you heard?
Okay, I can go with that.
He wasn't familiar with the attorney.
I can go for that.
He fired him because he didn't know who he was. So how you gonna get a public defender?
I can go for that. I give you that. I give you that. We can, like I just said, we can. I give you that. So we agree on that. We can agree on that. So we can go to the next one. So if Crawford has an attorney, and his attorney comes back to him with information that's not true, would Crawford be a smart businessman to continue to do business with his attorney?
No, hold up, bro. Hold up, Randy. The pump the brakes a little bit, bro. We was up there with a hedge fund. We was talking about the hedge fund, the identity of the hedge fund.
Exactly. So we talk.
You moved.
Well, no. I'm not moving the needle. It's the same thing. Go ahead. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Hold up, man. Like you was just on the hedge fund, and I was trying to explain to you why he shouldn't let the information out about who was in charge or who the names were backing the hedge fund, who was the originators, who were their suppliers, the investors. It's irrelevant to do that now because he's fighting December 10th. Why should he let the public know who those individuals were when he's due and set to return back to negotiations? He's been on record as saying, I'm returning back to negotiations after I beat David Avanesian to try to make this fight. What relevance is it for him to talk about who was over the hedge fund? Who?
The same way he brought up that he had a hedge fund, the same to release the information of who it is. It can be the drug cartel. Bro. It can be the drug cartel, and I got the drug cartel money. It could. You don't know that.
See, that's y'all. That's y'all sitting over here trying to attach.
Do you know that? I'm not. It's not about Canahan. I'm just saying when you don't know where the money's coming from, you need to know where the money's coming from. That's my point.
So the Errol Spence asked where the money was coming from. The Errol Spence asked for where the money was coming from.
According to both of them, he asked. According to both of them.
That's a lie, bro.
Crawford said it out his mouth. He asked. Crawford said it out his mouth. He asked.
Crawford's
Crawford
been
not
on
say
record as
that out
saying
his
that
mouth?
Spence. No.
Do I need to send you? Do I need to send you a clip where Crawford is in an interview and he said Errol Spence asked where the money was coming from?
Look,
do I need to send that?
Look, Errol Spence said two things when he presented it. He said back end money, where the back end money, and he mentioned having a fire stick. That's on audio too from Terence Crawford. That's on audio.
I need to send you
the back end money. Look, what
that was mentioned too. I need to send you the link where Crawford said this out his mouth though, because you seem not to believe what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna really turn up on my channel and try to.
Could you answer that for me though, World Comeback?
You know what I'm saying?
World Comeback, could you answer that?
You want me to answer what you're talking about, but yet you don't want to stay on topic.
I'm on topic. We're talking about you asked the question.
No,
your question was, what was your question, World Comeback?
You can't just let me just present what I gotta present, bro.
You asked me a question, I answered it.
You're trying to include Errol Spence into an equation outside of telling me that he has Al Haymon to speak for him, right? So therefore, when Crawford called him up on FaceTime, he said,
"But we already dissolved that, World Comeback. I already told you."
Bro, check this out. You need some discipline there, Randy. Chill, bro.
But you going back over the same thing.
I'm trying to help you understand something. The position that you're trying to put Errol Spence in. Errol Spence,
I'm listening.
Look, he told Errol Spence he had 50 million. And he had, 25. He asked about the back end money. He didn't talk about a fire stick, right? Look, why should he disclose? Check this out. Why should he disclose to Errol Spence where the money is coming from if Errol Spence has Al Haymon to do his negotiation for him? So if he tells him where the hedge fund money is coming from, what is Errol Spence supposed to do? Not a motherfucking thing, dog.
Are you serious now with that question? Okay, is that my question?
Okay. Y'all got to make up your mind where
what
position.
Is that my question, World Comeback? Is that my question? Why should he?
It's a statement.
Where you been? Because he said this came out of Crawford's mouth. He said he called Errol Spence to tell him I got $50 million, 25 for me, 25 for you. And Earl asked me, where is the money?
He called him on the phone. He called him on the phone. He called him on the phone. Man, your audio is jacked up there, Randy. Why you keep on over talking me, bro?
I say he FaceTimed him. You asked me, did he call him? I say he FaceTimed him. Unless you're trying to be technical.
Okay, he FaceTimed him. Okay, he FaceTimed and then he said what?
He said, I FaceTimed Earl Spence and told him, hey, look here, bro. I got $50 million, 25 for me, 25 for you, from a hedge fund. He said, where is the money coming from? He said,
Man, your audio is jacked up, bro.
What part you missed?
A lot of
Can you hear me now? He said he FaceTime Earl.
Hello? Hold on for a second. Bud.
Hey, what's up, World Combat?
Hey, what's up? Who this?
This Bud gonna stop Spence. Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Randy because he doing all that loud talking and that about something that's tell him that I don't know if he can hear me or not, but Bud told Al Haymon who the investors are, and he said they know him, so they know exactly where the money was coming from.
But see, look, Bud, you didn't allow me to walk him to that though. I was just trying to find out. We know that. We know that. Yeah. We knew he told Al Haymon because they've been saying the whole time that Al Haymon is speaking for Errol, right?
Yeah.
So, but yet I'm trying to help him get that. Why would he tell Errol Spence who the hedge fund guys are so he can relay the message back to Al Haymon? No,
right. And
it don't make a difference.
Errol didn't even ask who they are. Errol only asked, "What about the back end money?" He didn't say who they are. Tried to explain to you, Randy. Randy made that up himself. Errol didn't say that. He said he asked about back end money. So then that's when Crawford like, all right, you a nobody. Let me go talk to the boss, and he offered it to him because Errol never got back to him. He the one who disappeared. Did he?
I'm gonna send the video, brother. I'm gonna send World Combat the video.
Okay.
I'm gonna send him the video where he said it out of his mouth. I don't have to make it up. I'm going by what's fact. I'm going by what's factual, because when you start talking about opinion, everybody got one. I'm going by what I hear in the news. I'm going by what somebody say. I'm not going by what
Bud
I
said. The person involved.
Exactly. I'm talking about what Bud said, bro. In an interview,
he told Al Haymon, the one that y'all say advocating for Errol
He told
Spence.
both of them he called Earl first.
Look, it's no need for him to tell Errol Spence fine details, because Errol Spence ain't doing the negotiation. Al Haymon is, bro.
But why he called him then? He said he called. He said he FaceTimed Earl.
Called him
he didn't ask him.
Look, bro, he called him to present the idea. He said, "Hey, this is what I got going on. 25 million." If Errol would have said, "Okay, let me hear what you got to say with this 25 million," because shit, they talking about we not getting no guarantee money. We getting shit on the back end. This is gonna be guarantee money. This is gonna be guarantee money. So he hit Spence up and tried to see what his mindset was. Okay, maybe you can talk to Al about this shit. He found out Errol he wasn't in a position to talk to Al, because he know what position that is. Just sit your ass there and shut up. Simple. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to call Al Haymon up and present this money to him, because he know.
Errol couldn't have took the deal if he wanted it. If he wanted to, he still would have had to call Al.
Correct. He couldn't.
And if he wanted to, he could have took the deal. See what you failing to realize. Even if you have an advisor, at the end of the day, you still make the final decision. Al might tell him, okay, if you want this 25 million, you go take it, but I have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Al actually worked for the fighters.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
You keep on believing that. Okay.
Crawford, Al Haymon told Crawford out of his own mouth, he not letting nobody touch this fight.
Do you know what an advisor is?
It does. He got control that he can tell Spence he can't fight. He fight whoever. Spence got to fight whoever Al Haymon tell him.
They told him to fight Thurman, and he's dragging his feet on Thurman. And WBC haven't have to make that, so that's not true.
Al Haymon. So can Spence choose his own fights?
Okay.
I'm asking
you. I'm saying.
I'm asking you. Can he choose his own fights?
Yes, he can.
No, he can't.
But he trusts the people. But he trusts the people that he put in place. If you put people in place and you don't trust them, why they're in place?
So if Errol Spence can choose his own fights, why is this negotiation so difficult? If we're talking about the fighters, the promoters supposed to work for the fighters and everything like that. If that's the arrangement, right? Why is this negotiation so difficult if Errol Spence can do what the hell he want to do?
And why
the negotiation is so difficult because Terence is ready. Terence said, "No, I'm not." Terence is wearing the hat of a promoter, a manager, a fighter, or everything.
Stay on topic. We're talking about Errol, Randy. Stay on freaking topic.
If you let me get there, I will get there. World Combat, and I'm gonna be on topic. I'm on place, bro. You trying to distract me, but you're not. Okay. And now with Earl's position, Earl holds a different position. Earl have people in place that advise him, and a good businessman always hire to his weakness. If you're not a public speaker and you got money, the best thing for you to do is hire somebody that can speak for you. Okay. Earl have people in place to say this is a bad deal, that is a bad deal.
I got you. So why Terence Crawford isn't just talking to Errol Spence then before he even touched Al Haymon? Why don't he just go to have a conversation with Errol Spence? He called Errol. I'm just saying,
I'm gonna get you an interview. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, because he said he called Errol because he said he was trying to get them to handle this business over here and just take the 25 million upfront guarantee. He thought Earl was gonna kind of do one of them deals to say, okay, it's 25 million, which I don't know if it was or not. He said it's 25 million for me, 25 million for you. Let's just do it this here and let everybody else worry about the back end and all that.
Okay.
But Earl don't move like that. He not backstabbing his people.
If he control who he fights, why is he forced to negotiate with Thurman, which he said he'll never fight? Why is he in negotiations right now? Why is he the front runner for his next fight?
WBC mandated that. That doesn't mean if you've been around boxing long enough to know, just because you got a mandatory doesn't mean you're gonna have to fight this person. You know that. Plenty of mandatories have been made and have been mandated that didn't happen. So just because he mandated doesn't mean that Earl got to fight him.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's the front runner for who he finna fight next, Keith Thurman. And
it's a mandate. Okay. Prime example. What's your name, brother? I'm sorry.
Bud gonna stop.
What's
Spence.
your name?
Bud.
Okay, Bud gonna stop Spence.
Yeah.
Okay, Bud gonna stop Spence. Check this out. Look at Shakur Stevens and Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz done pulled out a couple of fights that was mandated. So just because you got a mandatory doesn't mean you gonna got to fight that person. We know that. So that's just saying WBC. This is what they mandating.
So okay, I mean, all right. If he fight Thurman next, then he don't pick his own fights in your opinion? If he forced to fight Thurman?
This is what I said about that. Bud. This is what I said about that. I said this when I first heard it, and this is my opinion about it. I said the only way I think that Earl will fight Thurman if they guarantee him a Crawford fight. I said if they don't guarantee him a Crawford fight, in my opinion, I think he'll move up to 54 because he already struggling to make 47. And he said out his own mouth, if I can't get the 40, huh?
Spence never said nothing.
He didn't say that.
No, I want to say
he didn't say
Spence
that.
Never said nothing about.
I got videos of him.
But look, I'm talking about.
Randy, stop talking about you got videos, bro. The same people.
I do it. I'm gonna send them to you, World Combat. I'm gonna send it to you, World Combat. I promise you that, brother.
Randy,
I promise you that.
1,000 videos, though.
Spence never talked about weight until this Bud Crawford negotiations came up. His whole career, he ain't never talked about weight. All of a sudden, it's the biggest issue in his career now. He has to move up. He never talked about weight. That's duck talk, bro. He never talked about weight. Y'all never talked about weight.
The Crawford fight ain't there. Who he ducking?
Y'all never talked about him moving to 54.
Who is he ducking?
Y'all never talked about him.
Who is he ducking?
Okay, Randy.
Who is he ducking?
Listen, I'm gonna ask you this question. Before Errol Spence said that during this negotiations, have you ever said something about Errol Spence's weight? He can't make the weight.
I don't know nothing about the weight.
Oh, so, okay.
I don't know nothing about what you're saying because that's your point you making. I don't know. I'm not gonna argue something you know.
You or nobody, none of Spence fans said nothing about his weight ever. He using that now as a scapegoat to get away from the fight.
And that scapegoat happened when the news broke that the fight was off. All of a sudden, Spence want to come out and talking about, oh, it's so tough fighting in the same
47.
division. No, hold up. His girl probably wrote that. He was probably goddamn knocked out and unconscious. His girl put that out there that, it's tough for him to make that weight at 147. He'll probably move up to whatever the text said, whatever the damn tweet was what he put out. He didn't say that shit until the news broke that the fight was off. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was talking about that shit. Nothing.
And Randy, I want to ask you this too. Do you think that other video is a skit or do you think it's real? Fire. I just cooked him on here. What's up, my boy? It's us now, man.
I was just trying to let him, get to the point of where in 1 minute they talking about Al Haymon, he has people in place. Yeah. But then when it comes to Bud, if he doesn't have a promoter, he has to speak. He has to speak directly to freaking Al Haymon. So if Errol Spence has never been in that position before, he's not gonna know every bit of conversation that's happening between Terence Crawford and Al Haymon.
Yeah, he didn't know none of the conversations. When Errol Spence wrote that tweet about when Terence Crawford did what he did, Spence wrote, I forgot when he wrote about the negotiations, he didn't know what was going on. He was talking. He said, Al told him. Spence himself said, Al told me that this nigga asked him that leaked conversation. That's what I'm talking about. He said Al said this, Al said that. So he didn't know nothing. All he knew is Al. He said they would start negotiations. I don't think Spence heard nothing during negotiations until Bud called him. He don't know nothing about it.
Correct.
And it says, I don't know how it's so. It ain't hard for them to see. They just refuse to see it. And when you force them, like this happened when I was on Kareem, like last week when I was on Easy Route channel. I made him jump off because when you speak facts, they can't even answer to it. There's nothing they can say to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but I wouldn't disappear like that. I accept, yeah, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just leave like that, but the facts is clear to see. He never talked. He knows him or none of them ever talked about Spence weight ever. You know what I'm saying? So by him bringing that up, it's a ducking tactic, obviously, especially when you move into a weight where your friend is your stablemate is who don't even want to fight. Y'all don't want to fight each other, and so y'all said if you move up, then he'll move up. That which means his brother got to move up, which we know his brother ain't fit to move up. He ain't fit to go to where Benavidez is. So 154 don't even talk about that with Spence. You know what I'm saying? They just talking. He not fit to move up, bro. I don't think even moving up at all.
It wouldn't be smart for him to move up, but you know, with Randy, I knew who he was, so it just got to a point where I was trying to allow himself to explain how he continued to move the needle. One minute, Errol Spence. I was getting to that point. He said it with you. I was getting to the point for him to say, Errol Spence can make all the dang decisions he wants to. The hell he can. Not with Al Haymon, you can't.
Right, I heard my bad, bro. I couldn't take it though. I know you know. I'm like, he was giving him a chance. I was like, let me hop in here, man.
And you ask him, you ask him, well, can he fight any fighter he wants? You can't. You can't go and fight any fighter you want. So if 1 second you're trying to act like Errol Spence has all this damn authority, but yet Bud is over here trying to freaking negotiate his position with his people, and they acting like that ain't shit. Like, bro, he's not talking to Errol Spence. He's talking to Al Haymon. Al is making all the choices. He's the shot caller, not Errol Spence.
Even when Crawford was with Top Rank, he couldn't fight who he wanted to fight. He told us, we wasn't like, he is own boss. He fight who we want. We wasn't saying that as Bud fan. I know I wasn't saying that. Bud said he fight whoever they put in front of him. He said, talk to Bob. You know what I'm saying? That's what he always said. He wasn't pretending, I'm my own boss like Errol was. He was pretending, bro. And they gotta accept that he's not his own boss. He lied about that. And then he brought up a little. Yeah, he was talking about he probably got a PR team, and he do got a PR team. He don't. If he got a PR team, they wouldn't have let him put out that video of his girlfriend. That wouldn't have never went out. You know what I'm saying? But he got people who do help, like this whole Bud negotiations. Somebody stepped in and helped him with those tweets when he was going back and forth with Bud. We know the difference between what he wrote and what somebody else wrote. You know what I'm saying? And then that whole skit thing, he knew. I wanted to talk to him about it because I just saw the video today about. I heard somebody else made a video about people saying it was a skit, but I never seen the actual video of them saying it was a skit. But his BM posted it talking about she ain't know the whole video, didn't post or whatever. Like, why are you writing that? When if that's true, post the whole video then. We don't need you to tell us what you didn't post. Post the whole video then. It ain't no whole video because that's the real video, and it's a real video. It's not a fucking skit. And excuse my language. And there's no way to even make that a skit. Like, why would you make a skit being drunk and you known for that? You know what I'm saying? And you a boxer. What is the skit for? Like, what's the point? That's outrageous. And people sitting there talking about it as if it's just like it's really a skit. That ain't no skit. Come on now.
That ain't no skit. I was just really in this situation with the way these Spence groupies are keep on hyping on the same thing. This is an afterthought. This shit right here is an afterthought. Everything that I was trying to get with Randy, I knew Randy go in here and just runs on and on and on. And I was being patient to a point. But what I was trying to gather for the Spencerholics is the fact that he's fighting December 10th somebody other than the name Errol Spence Jr. It's done. Period. Yeah. So you can go up here and make all the lies you want and talk about what he didn't do, what was said, and all that. These dudes are acting like he's gonna face consequences and repercussions when he return back to PPC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he gonna get punished or something, man. They're gonna take 2 wins off his record or something. And I don't know what the fuck it is.
And World Combat, how can they just sit here and pretend that before all this, before they even tweeted with each other, Bud said when he announced he fighting David Amnesian. He said then him and Spence still in negotiations. He's gonna come back to that fight after this. And then Errol Spence said he finna fight whoever he finna fight, and then he gonna spin the block to fight Terence Crawford. So I'm assuming that they gonna fight after their next fight, long as they win. Mm-hmm. And they talking as if it's never gonna happen, like it's not gonna happen. Like y'all just ignoring what the two fighters said, so y'all don't believe Spence now. Y'all don't care that he said he gonna spin the block. If they both saying they finna meet up after this, what don't y'all get about it? You know what I'm saying? It's just like they just can't accept reality, bro, and it's right in their face, man.
See, this is one of the shit I was gonna hit him with. They want to talk about this situation right here about what the draft included. Okay,
yeah.
And this is what I wanted to hit on Monnie Brown, right? This is a recent tweet. Monnie Brown talking about the contract. The contract. It clearly states in this tweet that the draft included specific provisions that required both of us would receive a complete and full written detail accounting showing all pay-per-view sales.
Bro, this is what he asked for, right?
Yeah,
and he
pay-per-view sales, event, and then status of all net revenues received and all event expenses incurred. Okay, this is Errol Spence, ghostwriter, the ghostwriter putting that out there.
Yeah, I never seen that, bro. I never seen that particular tweet.
So if the draft included all this, it doesn't make sense as to why we're not looking at the fight date. Where is the timeline to send this back? Like you're dropping all this shit and it's not true. Like this could be filler information. You're trying to tell everybody and people running with this shit that the draft includes specific provisions and all this stuff, complete and full written detail account. Okay, so if Al Haymon denied all this, why are y'all sending out a damn tweet as if he approved it? Exactly. It was said that he denied all that. And then they got online and say the same thing, bro. They say, who in their right mind think a boxer deserves that freaking
that amount of detail? Yeah. Look, this is exactly what Crawford wanted, but he couldn't get. Al Haymon, like, oh my God, bro. This is, I swear to God, they would have been lost in court if we was in court. Because Al Haymon himself said, why is he asking all these questions? Yep. Why is he asking all these questions? He never asked Bob Arum all these questions. This is all he was asking for. So obviously they didn't give him this. They didn't give him this information that he asked for.
True. So, and those same Spencer Hawley said exactly what you just mentioned. Why he asking those questions? He didn't ask Bob Arum. Why?
Right. And when Spence wrote this, bro, that nigga didn't even realize, like, what the fuck am I about to say? This is crazy. It was right there, plain as day, bro. Oh, when Spence said when he talked on the phone, he asking questions, this and this. He didn't know none of the details of the questions he asking, but all of a sudden in his tweet, you know every detail. On the phone, he didn't know no details, but only thing Bud was asking for was transparency, which is on the screen now. So when Spence talked on that leaked message, that leaked audio, he didn't know none of this. The only thing he asked for, now he know everything.
He didn't know, but all of a sudden you got 1,000 videos, and man, I already done been there, done that with all that. Man, I don't want to see no videos or nothing. Like we seen the IG video of Bud, we seen his tweets, we seen the back and forth exchanges between him and Errol. We seen all that. We know this ain't Errol Spence. Errol didn't take no time to put this shit together himself, man.
I wonder, do they say that this Errol Spence wrote this part?
No, man, like it came from his account. It's from his account.
I know, but I mean, do they actually believe he wrote this, or they know somebody wrote it for him?
I mean, they believe the video was a skit, right?
Yeah, you know what, right? They'll believe anything.
They believe the video was a skit, right? Okay. They believe this shit, Errol Spence.
Bro, I watched Monnie Brown video on that shit. I was just like, amazing. Y'all, whatever he say, they just gonna go with, bro. It don't matter what it is. He can do no wrong in their ass.
I mean, I heard somebody say that he's in the comfort of his own home. Okay, check. Let's take it from there. Dude's in the comfort of his own home. What relieves you of that confidentiality and privacy? What relieves you of that? When a goddamn witch like that puts up a video and exposes what's going on inside your home. Let's not talk about inside the home no more. Let's talk about the female that has the camera out and she's exposing you.
Bro, look, it's not even her. I don't think it's like I'm the only person that know this. It's a dude holding the camera, bro. You didn't hear him laugh when that nigga said,
No, bro. That was the guy who released the video, who was given the video. That was him basically screen recording it. And at the end, he was laughing. He wasn't in that home.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that was the dude that was actually,
recording
that video before he released it. So he wasn't there. He was just screen recording it because somebody sent it to him.
Oh wow, that's crazy. They just in complete denial, bro. And you not that good of an actor, bro. You can't act like that, nigga. You better than Denzel. If you acted on that.
The way he sounded, bro, that was like, it sounded like he was in stress. He was in distress, rather.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He was dozing off.
That's the type of shit that we seen that when they was talking about Bill Cosby when the date rape drug,
people
couldn't move and shit.
Like the girl Kanika Jenkins who stumbled in the freezer and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stumbled in the freezer and was done.
Mm-hmm. Man, they just it's no helping them, man. I kind of gave up on it. I can't wait till the fight happens just to come back to all this, man.
Well, I mean, we don't know when that is. And then we have to understand that if Bud Crawford wouldn't have took the fight, we don't know when the fight would have happened in 23. We don't know.
Right. And then Spence trying to fight
a lot of shit could have happened.
Mm-hmm. I think like really, if they really wanted it, they could wait for Bud and fight. Bud waited a year, so y'all acting like he's supposed to wait longer. So Spence can wait till April and fight Bud in April, and don't even fight nobody.
But see, they're not thinking about it like that, and that's a solid point. It would have been a year since Bud stepped in the ring, damn near close to a year. They would have fought November 19th. It would have been close to a year. Real talk. But see, they feel that was in the benefit of Spence getting out the ring in April and Bud being out a year.
Yeah,
that's the benefit of Spence. But look, check this out. If Spence don't fight right now and Bud fight December, then they end up coming up with a fight in April, May. People gonna be talking about, oh well, Spence been out the ring for a year.
Yeah, I ain't trying to. Yeah,
he got ring rust, man. He need a tune up, man.
Nope, because he don't do tune-ups and Bud was out a year, bro. I'm not trying to hear that, man. But
hey, don't remind him of he don't do tune-ups now. Don't remind him of that shit.
Right. That's the most logical thing. They could wait for Bud to fight in April, bro. Especially if they talking about Spence in February. You could wait that extra 2 months. Y'all telling Bud to wait. Tell Spence to wait, nigga, and get knocked out in April.
Exactly, because look, just like Money said the other day, to my if Dan Crawford can fight in December, he can fight in January, February. Well, guess what? if Errol can fight in April, he can fight in April.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Just wait, man. That solves it right there, bro. And Blue put out that video talking about it's gonna be a big guarantee, and they're like, where did he get that from? Where did that come from?
A big guarantee for what fight?
He said they gonna fight Spence and Bud. It's gonna be a budget for them next summer or spring. They gonna get a big guarantee.
That may be true. It's a budget because it's the top of the physical year. Obviously, okay, but we don't know what that guarantee is gonna be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's not going to be the same deal that they had 65-35 and no guarantee money. They didn't have the motherfucking money. That's why the fight didn't happen, bro.
Right. And that's why they finna throw all these pay-per-views real quick.
Exactly. So tell Blue to explain that shit. How at the beginning of the year when they have money, all of a sudden they're going to get a guarantee. But yet we trying to blame Bud Crawford for the fight not happening in 22. They didn't have the money for the fight, bro.
Right.
They didn't have the money.
The best thing, they should have took that $50 million, let somebody else take the lead. But Al Haymon didn't want to do that, and Spence couldn't make him do it because he's not his own boss. That's the bottom line to the situation. So they want to fight this year. So Bud fighting right now is a great thing. The best thing to do is Spence should wait. He could fight, and then they fight next, but he really should wait. It's not that long. You know what I'm saying? It's the same time Bud is at right now. It's the same time length. So if it's okay for Bud, like you said, in November, that would have been a year. Why can't you do it right now? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they don't see simple logic like that.
Oh, they ain't trying to, for sure. They ain't trying to. But shit, I'm going to hop off here, man. I got to come back on for the UFC joint later on tonight.
Yeah, but, for sure, man.
You got your own channel, man, or what?
Nah, I was thinking about getting one, but I'll be on y'all, so let y'all do your thing, man.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Appreciate you pulling up, though, man. I'm about to drop up out of here.
Yeah, for sure. It was nice cooking with you, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, appreciate you pulling up as always. Thanks for the support, man.
Yep. All right, salute, bro.
All right. Karate said, Monnie Brown makes multiple videos talking about the same shit that can easily be challenged. Easily. The only thing I was saying, like, that's why, you know, me, I'm going to give somebody the benefit sometimes just to see where they're going with it. And Randy, your invitation expired, bro. You don't listen, man. You all over the place, bro. You don't listen, man. I'm not going to jump up and start cussing and doing all that shit. I'm just trying to help you figure out the direction you're trying to go in so the listeners can understand what's popping. But no, none of that, bro. Like, you was all over the place. 1 minute y'all talking about he has people in place. The next minute y'all criticizing Bud for coming over there with no promoter. But yet you turn right back around and said that Errol Spence can make his own decisions. So I'm going to go back and say, okay, if that's the case, when Terence Crawford hit him up, it should have been much more clarity, much more transparency in the conversation that him and Spence had. He couldn't do that because Spence isn't a part of what Al Haymon has going on. He doesn't have permission. That's just the way it is. But we should definitely focus on December. We should definitely take notice to support that fight. And you know, this is never going to change. This type of back and forth about what they believe they know. Y'all cats that come up in here, listen, I'm not trying to put you on mute and put you in the background, but y'all need to stop over talking people, bro, because you know it's only so much level of patience I got. And then you act like you're gonna tell people basic shit. You know they frequent these YouTube streets. You know that. But yeah, you try to go back to A, B, and C. You know that, right? Come on, man. No, we passed all that. Y'all talking about hedge fund. Man, nobody cares about the hedge fund situation. What's the purpose of him explaining to Spence, who's going to go right, well, you better tell Al that then. I don't understand all you saying. What is he going to tell the Zone Boxing for who was behind the hedge fund? Why? What's the purpose? If they're going to go back into negotiations next year, what purpose is it for Crawford to disclose anything? And also, those same individuals know who Al Haymon is. Man, they refuse to put shit together, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to apologize for being tactically sound-minded sometimes during these discussions, but I'm like, damn, bro, why would he explain to the public who was behind the hedge funds? Maybe he going to need those same people later on. That's rich people shit. Seriously, that's rich people shit right there. That's rich people stuff. Why he going to go over here? Well, to be honest, this is who it was right here. So the media can go over there. Hey, we heard y'all with the head. That's not the way they do it. That's not the way they do it, people. Seriously. Yeah, I probably will drop the link for the UFC 281. That's gonna be pretty nice. But I definitely got to bounce, take care of some shit. Big salute to everyone that pulled up in the building. Randy, I can't do it again, bro. I gave you the opportunity. I know who you are, but dude, you all over the place. You overtalk people. you keep when people bring up basic damn knowledge, man, bro. You're not gonna get me riled up bringing up basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? But hey, everybody's in the building. Until next time, I'm out.